Tommy.
stuff.
Just in case he shows a gun, I'll have like he's really really tiny, so you won't really see it.
Hopefully,
Depends on what kind of gun. I guess either guns would be bad. So, Tommy, you
Yeah,
there? I like Mars Attacks though. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Mars is wise. And when I first met Mars, he reacted badly to little words and trolls and stuff, and he would endlessly, stew over it. He is such an adult now, and I hope that come off. It's not a compliment because it's meant as a compliment. He's progressed, and it sounds shitty.
Yeah.
He's a god now. Especially, I know how easily triggered he used to be, and now seeing him as like he's the adult in the room now. I mean, he is the guy now. He's learned so much.
All right,
That's
so
cool.
it's Pineal. It's not Tommy, it's Pineal, guys.
I know nothing of Pineal.
The fuck kind of voice is that, man?
It sounds like the Martians from that movie.
I will eat your pineal.
I got the wrong movie. Fuck. No, it's that movie.
Act. Wake my neighbor up again. Act.
Act. They did do that in the movie when the aliens invaded Las Vegas. That's how they spoke.
It's Mars Attack.
Mars Attacks. Thank you. That would have fucking been on my mind forever. Yeah.
Fucking aliens.
Somebody was saying something about magic. Where were you about to go with that?
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys looked into that.
I just looked into the little part about how you take a person's name and they use it because it's supposed to have some type of power, and they use it in different ceremonies. I was looking at the Dark Occult. I forget the name of this book, whatever I was reading about it. But the people who were doing it, some people do it by your birth name, but they say you get better results if you do it by what that person is known as opposed to if he was born Eduardo and everybody call him Blue, then you get better results putting Blue into there. And then how you take all the numbers and you lower them down to a few digits, the single digit numbers, and how they mean shit. So I'm at the very basics, and that was a while ago. I haven't gotten into it really.
Yeah, I've taken some time to look into stuff like making an altar.
Can't hear anything, man.
I can hear him. It just sounds bad. He's got a lot of background noise. He said something about he was looking into making an altar.
So Cage, how do you define magic, man? Like, what do you mean by magic?
Good.
Is the spell with a C or a K?
Are we even in the right neighborhood? Right? What do you mean?
Well, I don't really like the term magic, right? I think it's just just laws that we don't fully understand scientifically.
I like it.
Like, for example, I think like how voodoo and all that kind of stuff works is they've done studies in the lab at Laurentian University. They have two people in a darkened room. They're measuring their EEG, the brain activity.
Yeah.
They're both in a darkened room. When they share a magnetic field, they flash a light.
Yeah.
And it's as if both people saw it. The person in the dark room, when the other person sees the light, it goes into their mind as if they saw it themselves. So it's like the exact same activity in the brain. So yeah, maybe that's kind of how it works on people, like voodoo or something, like trying to like.
So maybe you're thinking that
it's like entanglement, right?
Yes, I actually agree with this theory that in some ways they do. Just them really believing it. But if I get this hair, I can change their world. They can put out some type of field that you can be receptive to.
Well, yeah, like certain meditative states and like these ritual type of ceremonies, whatever these ideas, or you get into a certain mind state where you produce a specific type of magnetic field, and then you create entanglement between the object or the individual.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen these videos? They're called like demon magicians, and they make things like kind of appear out of nowhere. They some weird stuff.
All right. Well, I have a friend. that's high level in this. Frater RC. He's been on my channel once before, like on And he's in like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. He's like super high level, and he literally told me once, he's like, "Yeah, they all did this thing, and they didn't leave. They did it for until they saw someone that literally physically appear in their temple."
Wow.
Like fuck that! I don't want anything to do with that shit. I don't want to be doing that.
You can manifest the thing. These would be some of the rules that someone was talking about a little while ago that they know and we don't. I think Cage was saying that shit. These are some of the things that for them are small, and they've already know if and how much man can project a thing and make a thing happen using this mental fucking. You know, they've had all sorts of tests and studies and money to throw at this shit. They've got a way better understanding of this shit than we do. And
even science is starting to prove it. Like how light is shared, or even like they've done another study of the same kind of idea where like they've induced a magnetic field, same thing, measuring the EEG. They make one person picture that they're tapping the person on the shoulder, and their brain lights up like it did. So obviously, and then that's like if you can like affect the subconscious mind, you can theoretically formulate reality. So it's probably how curses and hexes and all this shit.
The word you used was, I think you used tangled. And that was a great word you used. Yes, because of the quantum entanglement theory that people, shouldn't be a theory anymore, where they take one part of a photon and they can move it anywhere, any distance. They take one part of a photon. Somebody has an echo. They can move it anywhere, any distance. Lou, that's got to be you. Thank you. And they react simultaneously, meaning these entanglements you talking about could apply to the same rules, and no matter what the distance, that you can still pick up on that person's field. So the tapping on the shoulder wouldn't matter how far they are away if the quantum entanglement rules apply.
Yeah, exactly, and it's based off electromagnetic fields apparently.
Yes.
They can either like enhance it or block it with specific ones.
You know, a lot of those string theories, these are some of the shit you get into on a quantum level. You can do these experiments and find out these things. You can actually measure them. And a lot of people, Einstein was trying to, unified field theory. Einstein was trying to do this. Some of those papers on his desk, his desk was messing. There's a bunch of shit on there though, where they tried to find the rules that apply to conventional physics to quantum physics, and whoever comes up with it will be the creator of the unified field theory. He's trying to unify both theories, and they've been unable to do it so far. It looks like they're a whole different set of rules, and it's going to be hard to do. One of the rules over there is that they do it with the magnetic, with the large hadron collider particle accelerator. They slam pieces of matter into each other, and when they break apart, rather than shatter into smaller pieces, they shatter into pieces that are the same size. So creating more matter apparently from the energy it took to bang them into each other, uses that to transform the particles into matter. So they got to take all that into consideration when they come up with this theory.
Interesting topic this turned out to be. Hello, Lou. Hello, newcomers.
Hello. Can I get a mic check?
No echo.
Sounds terrible, but
am I good?
Yeah, it sounds terrible. At least the echo's gone.
Bacon grease in your microphone.
Fucking pioneer, man. Goddamn.
Good or not?
We can hear you. We can't say you was good because it's not. But we can hear you.
Sucks, man.
Yeah. There you go. He's being more honest than I am. Yeah.
Say what?
What's wrong with
you? Sound like you're talking. You sound like you're talking out of a CB from 1980.
Yeah.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah. You sound like you're at a distance.
Okay.
Maybe if you
tunnel or something.
Maybe if you place the antenna, put the antenna to the east. That funny looking thing made of metal? It's an antenna. You turn it to the east.
Well, Nachiketa, if you look
then you turn the dial on the CB receiver. You might get a better signal.
What about if it's up my ass?
Try it. I think you might actually get a better signal.
Yeah, move it around a little bit. You might get a better signal.
Fuck sakes, bro.
Just stuff it right in there, you know.
I did that last
You're
night.
not
Use your
trying
body.
hard
You
enough.
use your body as like a receiver. You know, that's how cell phones work. They use your head and your skull
I'm
to
told that, yeah, in
send
certain that
Look at this
that can make
fucking
a
guy.
difference. Yeah.
Look at this fucking guy drinking his Tim Hortons coffee like a true Canadian. God damn it, man.
It's actually not a Tim Hortons coffee. Yeah, I made it myself.
Yeah, reusing a fucking, that's a true Ontario motherfucker. Reusing the Tim Hortons coffee.
It's like his fucking
Fucking
dishware
guy,
that
bro.
he really bought. Yeah.
I go to Tim Hortons like once in a blue moon, but I always save the cup and I reuse it. Why not?
Might as well.
Lou, you sound like you're
brilliant.
coming. You
You
sound like
you
you're
can punch holes
you're
at the bottom.
in
You can
France.
plant plants in them and shit. You can start plants.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna shut this fucking thing off. Hold on.
Yeah, good idea.
What the fuck is that, man?
That's a broadcasting destructive device. That's what it does. It's
Okay, can you hear me better?
Oh,
my God!
You're working with fucking rat
What
blood
the
too,
fuck
aren't
were you doing the first time? What was that
He
in
bought
your
that
hand?
piece of shit at the dollar store, or maybe he picked it up in the garbage.
I had
don't
this
know.
thing. No, it wasn't at the dollar store. It was out of a can of Coors Light.
No, you found it. You found it in some roadkill, didn't you? You cut open the fucking stomach and ate.
It was out of a case of beer. I got this thing.
Hey, listen, guys. I'm gonna cut out, man. I got some shit I've been
Put it back in the
neglecting
case of
and
beer.
shit.
All right, Joe. See you
All
next
right,
time,
later.
brother.
Take care, Joe.
Thank you.
Much love, bro.
Same.
Yeah. So I think the safest thing you could do right now, Lou, is to put it back in the case of beer.
Okay. I will. What are you writing down there, Sean? Lardaloon? What the fuck is he writing?
So
Lardlubian.
Christos, what do I deserve? By the way. Oh yeah. So Christos, you're being where's Christos? He's not here. Oh, he's in chat. Aha. We got some roasting to do here.
Christos comes in and out like
you're
like
Christos and you're click the link. Come on up here. You guys got something to say to each other, I believe.
Yeah, the quote unquote magic. OTW, tell him about
Yurt
the
has
shit.
it coming.
OTW tried it, worked for him.
What did I do?
Remember You don't remember OTW when you tried the was it the dice or the coin or something? You see it.
Oh yeah, I know how that works. Yeah. Yeah, I've tried it.
Hey, is it raining in Quebec?
I don't know. I didn't. I'm an enclosed environment. I don't see outside. I couldn't tell you.
What the fuck? You don't even go look outside in the morning before you start streaming? You just fucking lock yourself in the basement and just start streaming?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a basement. I'm in the kind of like it used to be my when I did my 30-day challenge, it was like my gym. Well, now I transformed it into the.
And what? There's no windows?
Well, there is one, but I put a curtain there.
It's raining.
I don't want to get up, man. I'm sitting down here. I'm very comfortable.
Yeah, Lou's generally worried about you, bro.
I have to get up and.
He's like a vampire in there.
You're in Ontario, right, Cage?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Ontario? Like Northern Ontario? I think you told me before.
I'm in Toronto, bro.
Huh?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So it's raining down there, right?
Yeah, it's piss pouring, bro.
Yeah, closer you get to Toronto, weirder the Ontarians get. It's like
Toronto's fucked. It's so expensive and there's a lot of crime now. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Yeah, I grew up.
Yeah, you guys
it's out of fucking control. I'll tell you.
I
grew up here my whole life. I've always been here.
Yeah, you're gonna need a RoboCop soon over there.
What area? Not to know where you are, but just roughly, what area are you in Toronto?
I'm in a nice area now, but I grew up on the Jane. You know Jane?
Jane, what, like Jane and Finch?
Yeah, around there.
Wow.
In the public housing and shit.
Oh, so you were right in the fucking thick of the shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it
Well,
was good though.
I grew up pretty much downtown, like Dufferin and Bloor area. But then we moved up. We moved up to Dufferin and Lawrence, and where we lived right behind the jungle. They called it the jungle, right?
I know
Because
Jungle.
like,
Yeah, that's right by. Yeah, Jungle. I know Jungle.
Yeah, we lived right on the edge of the jungle, so the bullets sometimes would come through the window, and you'd hear fucking shooting all night long. It was a fucking joke.
I have some stories about Jungle, man.
One time, a couple of guys were chasing each other. I don't know. And one guy trying to get away. He literally.
What by Varna? You live by Varna?
Sorry.
A street called Varna, right?
Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of streets in there. I don't remember the names of them, but we were right on like Highland Hill, which was right behind.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right on the edge of the jungle. So whenever there was anybody trying to get away from cops or whatever, they'd come over our fence and go through our yard to get through to the nice area, right? Because our area was all these big houses, and behind the backyard was the jungle.
You lived in the Italian area around there.
Like a shooting at each other, and one of the guys smashed our side door in to get into the house to get away from the other guy shooting him. He's lucky he didn't get shot when he came in because no one was home. Otherwise, he would have got shot there. But yeah, it was a crazy neighborhood.
Yeah, well, nowadays they have like little kids running around with fucking extended magazines with switches on them and shit.
Oh yeah, Toronto's gone completely off the deep end. It's like it may as well be New York or fucking LA. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's worse than that. The murder rate's worse than fucking New York, like per capita, like percentage-wise. Yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, it's pretty fucked out here.
Yeah, Jane and Finch, you can't go anywhere near it anymore. It's like it's so bad. What you moved away from Jane and Finch?
I moved on, but I lived at Chalk Farm. You can search it up. It's fucked. Like someone threw a rocket launcher. Someone threw a rocket launcher off the fucking balcony, bro.
Chalk Farm was the worst of the worst.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. But yeah, I got out there early. You know what I mean? I worked. I got my family out there. You know, moved into a better area. Fucked off from that. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah. I liked it though. I actually don't mind growing up. I don't mind that experience because, it's a character building. You know what I mean? Teaches you how to deal with life a lot easier. You go through I don't know. It's hard, but then it pays off after, in my opinion.
Well, I don't regret any of it. I mean, even despite the fact that I became a junkie for a number of years, I still don't regret it because it's kind of what made me who I am. And I think, despite the fact that I may have things to change, and I probably always will have things to change, I think I'm happy with who I am on a large degree, and I wouldn't change any of it. I really wouldn't. I mean, I'm at the point now where when I moved out of Toronto and I moved to my farm, like my particular where I am, I'm north of Newmarket. So, but when I bought it like 36 years ago, my road was like just a tiny dirt road. It was so small that sometimes cars had to pull over to the side for the other cars.
Imagine trying to buy one of those now with the fucking real estate market now. How much that would be worth?
Bro, my farm right now, it's 25 acres. When I bought it in 94 or 9, something like that. And I paid $143,000 for it. And today, like if I listed it tomorrow, I could get up to $4 million for it. And if I wait a little longer, because they're putting a big water main that's coming right by my front door, a big water main that's going to go bypass through Newmarket and up past my place to Keswick, because they're building like thousands of homes in Keswick. And also the bypass. I don't know if you know about the 404 400 bypass, the northern, what do they call it? They call it the Fuck them. It's like the northern 407 kind of thing, and that's going to be like 400 or 500 or 600 meters south of my house. So it's going to even
value, yeah, because it's right.
Yeah, you can't touch this land anymore. It's like a regular person can't buy this land anymore. There's no way.
It's crazy. You're fucking lucky, man. Like, I'm younger, you know. So yeah, for people my age, it's a bitch to try to. You know, I don't really have family that own anything at all. So it's like, yeah, you know, to go and try to buy your own thing nowadays, it's ridiculous. You can't really do it here anymore. You have to go to like Alberta or something.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll tell you, when I bought this place, I bought it like I didn't get money from my parents. Like people think that my parents gave me money. I didn't get fuck all.
But I'm saying back then it was easy.
Yeah, but hold on a second. You have to think about it. When I bought this place, I bought it about 6 months to 8 months, under a year after the crash of the 90s. Like in the 80s and 90s, there was a big boom in Ontario, pretty much all over Canada. I don't know if you remember. And my farm, less than a year prior to me buying it, was valued at $1 million. And there was no way I could have afforded to buy that. And then when the crash happened, I found this in a little 2-line ad. And this was back when people were walking away from huge deposits that they put on houses, and they had to walk away from the deposits because their interest rates would have been so high, they had to just walk away. And I found this, it was an auction. It was a closed, like silent auction. And I bought it at auction at 143,000, whereas, you know, less than a year prior it was $1 million. So don't think that shit can't happen again. The trick is to have money in your pocket when that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, you gotta wait. It's all about timing, right?
Right. Because
but yeah, Lou, look at how ridiculous this shit is. Look, I put a fucking link in the private. This house in Toronto is 11 feet wide. It's like a tiny little fucking shack. You know, it's sold for $300,000 over the asking price. It's like almost like 1.4 million for a 10-foot fucking wide like jail cell fucking house you're buying. That's crazy. Like almost like 1.5 million.
But I'll tell you right now, Cage, if you got money in your pocket, that's why I'm considering selling my place right now and buying my father's place, because my father's farm is 50 acres and it's right close to Keswick. And I think it's going to probably end up paying out sooner than mine does. So I'm considering selling mine and buying his. But the trick is, if you save your money now, because the market could change just like that. And this property here, if it's valued at $4 million right now, could go down to fucking 600, 700,000.
That's what I'm waiting for, you know.
Maybe even less. And I suspect it's
this shit's a delusion. It's a bubble. It's gonna pop eventually.
That's right. And that's how they capture the best land, the best real estate. They capture it by creating these bubbles, right? They know when the bubbles are going to crash. So they dump all their properties that they can. They get huge amounts of dollars. They wait for it to crash, and then they buy up all the other properties for pennies on the dollar.
It's like crypto, kind of.
It's a game, but if you play the game right,
it's like a rug
pool. You can end up with a really nice property. The trick is having a little bit of cash in your pocket when it does crash, right? Like each one of my properties that I have, I always bought them at the bottom of the market. And I always bought land or property that needed serious work. Like I never bought something that was like in perfect shape. Like when I bought my place, my house was like, the guy had a pig living in it, going in and out of the basement. The house was a disaster. A fucking 500-pound pig was walking in and out of the basement. It was bad, right? But I totally renovated it and made it livable, right? So you put the equity into it by buying something that needs work, and then you work on it. You fix it up. You build the equity with your own arm, with your own hands, right?
Yeah.
That's if a young person wants to get into the market, that's the way to do it. You don't start by buying some brand new house somewhere. You start by buying a piece of shit that you can fix up and make it valuable, right?
U.S. is way better too. Like, you should see what you can get in the U.S. compared to the shit you can get here. Like for the price, you can't even get you can get like a bachelor condo here for the price of that. You can have like a mansion in fucking the
In
U.S.
some places, yeah.
Like Texas, you can have like a giant mansion for the same price as like a bachelor apartment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we've been going through quite a long boom right now in Canada in general, but it's got to hit a wall at some point. I think it's going to happen really soon. Once you see the interest rates start going the way they're going now, where they're raising them, they're trying to do it slowly. They're incrementally raising the rates, but if they have one major bump in rates, it could send the whole thing spiraling. And I'm already noticing a lot of condos for sale with, usually when things were really popping, you wouldn't even see a for sale sign. The sign would go up, it already say sold. And same with houses. But now you're starting to see, if you look around, you're starting to see signs that they don't have a sold on them. They're lasting, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And there's a lot of them. So it's an indication that things are headed towards a downfall, right? So
yeah, it's inevitable, right? Eventually.
Yeah. Like I said, the trick is have that cash in hand when the shit hits the fan, because that's when you could pick up something really cheap. But if you don't have the money to do it, then you're fucked, right? I was lucky when I bought this place. I just done because I was working for the drug rehab at the time. And so I didn't have a lot of money. I was making very little money working with the rehab. And but I would do side jobs, renovations. And I just got this big job. A house had burned down, and I bid for it to the insurance company, and I got the job. So I ended up making like, I don't know, I think I had like $20,000 or $30,000 in my pocket. So I had enough to put a good down payment on. So in a way I got lucky, but
Yeah, nowadays I'll buy like 3 months of rent over here, so it's that crazy. Yeah.
Nowadays, what? Sorry?
I'm saying that only lasts for like 4 or 5 months of rent nowadays, probably. The way they're moving.
Fuck, I know. It's crazy. Like I looked into how much I could make off this apartment here that I have, this little house that my daughter was living in. Fuck, man. I was looking at places, they're like $2,000 plus utilities, $2,200, $2,300 plus utilities. It's like, holy fuck, how do people survive that? When you got to come up with that kind of money every month, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm paying over with all my bills, I'm paying well over $3,000 a month. Plus, I'm helping out family too on top of that. Like, wow. I need at least like $4,000 a month just to survive. Never mind that. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, some people like I hear in the United States, like I think it's in Washington, you got like it's like 74,000, and you're considered poor, a year.
Yeah, over here to get approved for a mortgage, you need to be making over 150 grand a year. And how many, on paper, how many people make that, right? For people with regular job, electrician, people in trades usually aren't making that. If they're working for, no one's like, unless they're like, I don't know. I don't think they're expecting people to fucking buy it, they just want to keep people on a never-ending treadmill type thing,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why rents are so high right now. At least around this area, anyway.
Well, around here too.
And then you get kind of stuck and shit after, because if you move, they can only raise it up a certain percentage here every year. I think it's like this year is like 2.5% this year, but it changes every year.
Yeah,
it was 2.5 this year. But if you move, like the place I'm living now, if I moved, it'd be up it'd be like another like 400, it'd be like over 25% more than when I'm.
Yeah. Like my dad has people living, because on my dad's farm, there's 3 houses. 2 of them are rented out to tenants. And one of the houses, the big house, they're paying like $900 a month, but they've been there for like 10 years. And so they started out at like whatever, 700-800, and now they're still only paying like $900 a month. But if he was able to kick them out, which you can't kick them out, then he could relist that house for rent for like $2,200 a month. But he can't do it right now.
Well, a lot of landlords, you can do it. You could file something through the landlord tenant board saying, you just, all you got to say is like, I have a family member that's moving in there.
Yeah, I know, but it's not as easy as you think, because they actually check up on it nowadays, eh?
Yeah.
They actually do. They go back and look. And my cousins got fucked up that way. Ended up costing them, like, they had to pay the tenant something like $15,000 because they got caught that they didn't move into the house. They said they were going to move in, and they got the tenant out, and then they were checked up on that they weren't living in it, and it cost them like $15,000. They had to pay the tenant.
Yeah, they got him, huh?
Yeah, they check it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's kind of greedy too, in a way. Just kicking someone out just so you can triple the rent on them. But there's also, like, you could do it through renovations if you renovate it.
Yeah.
You can get them out that way. It's like gentrification. That's what happened at Chalk Farm, that building I lived at. Unfortunately, I left before they did that, but they gentrified it. What they did was they did like a bunch of upgrades on it, and they kicked everyone out of the building.
Right.
But they had to pay them.
Yeah.
They had to pay them.
People are doing. That's what people are doing now. If they have a house that's rented or an apartment in a house or whatever, and they need to get the people out, they just make them an offer and they pay them out. And that's
they gentrified it, right? Gentrification or whatever.
Yeah. The difference is, if I buy my dad's farm, if I sell this and buy my dad's farm, because I could end up selling this. My place is worth more than my father's farm right now. And my father's is more land and even somewhat closer to a city. But it's just because of where my land is. Like, if I sell this and buy his place, then I'm going to move in, obviously, right? Then I could legally take them out because I'm moving in, right? And then as long as I actually move in, there's no issue, right? And I think you got to live in it for a year. If you decide, like, say, for example, you kick them out and then you move into the property, you have to live in the property for a minimum of a year or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, before you could decide to rent it again.
It's fucking, yeah, man. Ginger is saying property owners should never fix up buildings. Yeah, that's what they did at fucking Chalk Farm. There's bullet holes in the staircase, piss and shit in the elevators. People, you know what people do? Like, all the cameras, people just spray them with black spray paint every time. Yeah. And there's a thing there for some reason. The elevators, like, you don't want it. The elevators, like, would just magically open up, and then like 5-6 guys would run over with machetes, just rob random people in there. Like, that was like the main thing. Like, yeah, you can't even go in the elevators. They're getting robbed with machetes and shit.
Oh, I believe.
If they don't know you. Yeah,
I know how.
It's like third world.
When I was young, we used to do a lot of business with people in Chalk Farm. Like, I'm talking about, 30 years ago.
You know about the farm? Right by Sheridan Mall? Right by the Sheridan Mall and shit,
Yeah.
The bridge.
That's where when we first opened up our rehab, we had our first office, because we didn't start off with residences. We started off with like a day program thing, and we rented a building just west of Chalk Farm. The where the highway crosses over the
by Jane and by Falstaff.
Wilson there. Wilson?
Oh, but
Wilson
Beverly?
And in between Jane and Falstaff.
Falstaff.
There's the Kodak company there and all that. That's where we're right by Chalk Farm, right behind Chalk Farm. Basically.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about here.
Yeah, and that's where our program was. Our original program started there. That's why we used to be so strict on, like, people couldn't have money, couldn't have, like, You know, there was no contact because fucking drugs were around the corner, so anybody could sneak something in, right? So we used to have to be really, really, you know, strict about it. And then later we bought a farm and we got people out of the city because it was too hard to keep
Yeah,
anybody.
Lou, I'm sure that's a good area too. You know, you guys that have a lot of business there with your rehab.
Yeah,
yeah.
and there was a lot of
Fucking
Italians.
zombies out there.
There was a shit ton. Most of them were all Italian back then.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like right by Chalk Farm, you have Calvington, right? It's an Italian area right there too. A lot of those houses there.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird. It's like an invisible line. You get like the nice house, and then you get like the hood right there, right by it.
Yeah, but everybody was fucked up on drugs back then. Didn't matter if you were from the good neighborhood or the bad neighborhood, you were on dope.
Now they're fucking trigger happy out here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that shit now. It wasn't so bad when I was young. It wasn't that bad, and we always had guns, but we didn't really.
No, now they're just fucking insane. These people out here now, like most, how many people I know, like pretty much everyone I grew up with, they're all either dead or in jail.
Yeah.
And nowadays with the social media, you actually see videos of this shit. Like this, it's fucked.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna end up eventually moving to my land up north because I have land up.
Riveting.
Sorry.
Paul's like riveting. Hit the fucking link, Paul. You fucker.
Oh, Paul's here.
Yeah. Sorry, Lou. What are you saying, bro?
You want to have a rivet, Paul? Come and have a rivet.
Let's have a riveting conversation with Paul.
It is what it is. Hey, listen, OTW is the broadcaster. If he likes to change the fucking direction, he has to do it.
Saltus here says he bought his home for $109,000, worth over $600. Fucking.
Where?
Damn. I'm not sure where he's at. I don't know. It must be somewhere in the U.S. Probably fucking West Virginia or something.
My son bought some land in Florida that I think he paid like $125,000 or something like that. It was like a big piece of land. It was like 2 or 3 acres, and in a nice community. It didn't have a house on it, but it was all rough. The property was rough, and he just cleaned it up nice, put some nice fences, set up the hydro so that somebody could have like a trailer on it, and he sold it for like $100,000 profit in a year after just cleaning it up. So you can find some nice properties in Florida. You can find some really nice deals.
Yeah, I rent currently, but like I have a good setup going. Like I chose where I lived because the electricity is included.
Right.
So if I kind of like add that up with what I'm paying, it's like I'm getting probably a better deal than owning at the moment. I'm waiting for that crash, like you were saying.
Well, I'll tell you, save your money because it's coming soon. I'll tell you right now, it's coming soon. You could see the way the market's starting to move. That's why I'm looking to put my place for sale right now. I have a meeting on Wednesday.
You might as well get rid of it. Yeah, sell high, right? Get rid of it.
Yeah. And right now, the land that I have is in an area where the Chinese are all buying it up to do farms for
weed.
They grow all this bok choy and Chinese cabbage and
that's what they want. It's probably all fucking weed they're pumping on the market to the hood. I'm telling you, the Vietnamese fucking are heavy in the weed.
I don't know. Maybe they are. They just bought my neighbor's land, which is basically all swamp. It's nothing like my land. It's basically all swamp. It's on a road that's not even maintained. It's got a shitty house that he put lipstick on a pig, and he got $2 million for it. So it's like they're buying up this land. All Chinese. This area is totally being bought up by the Chinese. Every farm is.
That's why just same with in Vancouver too, in BC too. They've been doing that for years over here. They have a different
And they're
mentality.
putting up all these greenhouses. I wouldn't doubt it if that's what they're doing, growing weed in these greenhouses.
I guarantee they are. I have some stories about that. The Vietnamese are. You don't even want to know what the fuck those guys are up to. They're you know you're never really they're unassuming, you know.
Yeah.
Like they just look
I
like
mean,
some nice old
if
Asian
I'll
people.
stay here, if I don't sell this place, then I'm perfectly happy if every farm around me's Chinese, because they don't bother nobody. They mind their own business.
They're very nice people.
Yeah, they
very
don't
respectful.
pay attention to your business. That's what I like about
I
them.
always love dealing with the Asians. The Asians are proper.
Yeah, they don't fuck with your business. They mind their own business. They leave you alone. You get these fucking, Canadian fucking white Canadian wasps, and they're always got their nose up your ass of what you're doing. They mind your business instead of their own.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ack. You guys are simping to the CCP. Ack.
What's the CCP?
I put you in a re-education camp. Fuck off, bro. I'm gonna throw you in the re-education camp.
Let's talk about how your picture's an owl and mine's an alien, and people say the last thing they see before they get abducted is an owl. What's up with that?
Well, from the Encounters of the Fourth Kind or whatever it's called, Encounters of they see the owl.
It goes beyond that though, but yeah.
The owl's an esoteric symbol. An owl.
Yeah, I know.
It flies silently. You know what I mean? It can see. It sees from a higher perspective at nighttime in the dark. Flies silently.
Dude, when my new neighbors came in about a year ago,
it's a sick fucking animal, bro. Allow it. You know
when my new neighbors came in about a year and a half ago, maybe, or something. And I still wonder, like, why? What? It's just weird. They have this owl. I thought I was being basically remotely, like, I thought I was being gang stalked by my neighbors, essentially.
Maybe I'm getting your neighbors actually paid me, and that's how I found this. So I'm here for you.
Well, they had this owl fucking little statue, dude.
The owl.
They had this little owl statue, and they put it right at the part of the fence that divides their property and our property. So whenever I'd walk into the side yard of my crib to go to whatever, the side yard to the backyard, or just there's a door on the side yard to go into the garage, I just see this fucking owl, man. I'm just like, man, it's creepy as hell.
So you thought because they had an owl that they were gang stalking you?
Well, no, it was more so because I came home from a music festival fucking last year, and there was all this weird shit that happened. I thought I got fucking infiltrated by DARPA bugs. It's a whole story. It might have been a bad shroom trip mixed with a bad roll at the time, if you know what that is. Party drugs.
What is that? Ecstasy?
Yeah, essentially. I did some things I maybe shouldn't have done. It might have been an alumatameth bomb.
You got meth bombed?
It might have been. But
idiot,
regardless of that, I did get followed at one point at that festival, and that wasn't what do you call it? My imagination, because dude, I got into this I got a stingray used on me. You know what a stingray is?
That was a
what the fuck is a stingray? What is it?
Looking to get laid.
It's something that intelligence, and law enforcement uses to gather data off
here's the
devices.
the stingray. The thing
the
that
stingray
bounces
device.
off.
They can take your whole phone.
The cell tower thing.
Yeah, but it's a device. Yeah, right. They take it from the cell. I think from the cell tower.
They create a fake cell tower. It's like a fake
pinging,
cell tower.
Right. It's pinging off your device. They can basically harvest all the data off your device. Anyway, so, but at the end of the day, I have nothing really to worry about. I'm like a fucking criminal. So, but it's the same argument that people have, which I never have, is that you'll never hear me say, well, I'm not up to anything, so what do I have to worry about? Because it's like, I want my privacy. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody.
You fucked up by going to a festival, like a fucking regular NPC slave. Either way.
Well, it was a festival that used to be a lot more homey,
you know what I mean?
And now it's fucking infiltrated because it got bought out by fucking Insomniac Records, which is the same people who do EDC and.
So I'm just saying,
Wonderland and all that. They're like the biggest
harvesting ritual. You know
yeah. It definitely is. But yeah, there were feds everywhere at that festival. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's definitely DEA. There was definitely probably FBI and stuff.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people they have a thing called
I almost thought DARPA was there, man. But
yeah, they have a thing called VELD over here. And like I know people. You know what they do? They go to this VELD thing, whatever. It's like at the Downsview fucking. It's like one of those fucking festivals that you're talking about. Everyone does that shit. So they go there and they put like apple cider vinegar into little, like powdered apple cider vinegar pills or something, and they just sell that to people for like $20 a pill. Make like make like whatever, $5,000, whatever the fuck they.
Holy shit! Hey, well at least they're actually not hurting people. They're actually helping them. They're actually.
Yeah, they're just giving it. Well, they're ripping them off, but it's probably better for them, anyways.
Right?
They get a placebo, so it's like
depends how they take it. If they're injecting apple cider vinegar, that might be a different story.
No, that's a pill. It's like a Molly pill or whatever. That's what.
To be honest, it'd still probably be safer off. Honestly, not that I'm enforcing.
At least there's no fentanyl in
it. It's like the most. It would be like the most humane way to, I guess, scam someone on drugs. As opposed to giving them like worse drugs, fentanyl or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they would do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way I would see somebody like something I could understand. Like, if you go to one of those things, maybe if you want to make some. But like, I like even like I had a friend, and him and his mom would actually go there since their kids. They would sell water to people and make like over like $2,000 a day. They just go with water, just bottles of water. You know what I mean, $1 each. And just sell thousands.
An honest gig, man.
Yeah, just sell water to people there or something, and you can make a shitload of money doing that. They still.
But yeah, I was listening to what you guys were saying, and it got me thinking, like, or the whole housing market. It's like obviously the goal, largely, is, to force people into these smart cities and into these city centers, in all in line with Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Sustainable Development Goals, and all that stuff. SDGs, whatever you want to call it. But like when you look at some of the prices, the housing market in like, look at how much it costs to rent in, for instance, New York City and shit. Obviously, it's the most extreme example because New York City is probably like the most, I would imagine, one of, if not the most expensive. But whatever, LA, maybe I would imagine, Austin or Houston or whatever. These more, Philly, whatever. Miami. If that is the goal, I mean, how is it so? From my limited scope, it seems like it's
Jessica Jean saying ripping someone's off. Yeah, it's ripping someone off. That's why I think the water thing is better. You could make more. You could probably make the same amount just selling people water.
Yeah, it's honest. It's not false.
Because you don't have to like hide it or anything. You just openly do it. Although
it's not deceptive practices like they hit me on my fucking on Pineal Power for apparently showing funny videos. That was deceptive practices. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, if that's the goal, how is it so expensive to maybe at some point they're just going to completely drop, maybe when the market drops or something, they'll make living in cities like way affordable and, living off more in suburban areas, way more expensive. And then it'll be kind of like a mass exodus. All the sheep will start flocking more to the cities and stuff. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here, but it's like, how is it so expensive to live in these cities if that is the goal? And I do think it is the goal, obviously, the smart cities and all that shit. Down here in Miami, I haven't looked it up in a while, but they were building this like multi-billion-dollar fucking.
When you talk about that whole 15-minute.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, 15-minute cities, kind of. Yeah,
we already have that here, bro. Everything I had, like I've had that like the entire. That's already here, At least in like big metropolitan area, big cities, we have that already. Everything I need to go to is within like 5-minute drive, probably less than 15-minute. The grocery store, whatever, like all the necessities, whatever you need.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to fuck off. I'm trying to kind of do what Lou's doing. I'm trying to get a farm.
Yeah, I practically don't need a grocery store lately. I mean, it's fucking mango season down here. I'm fucking on a mango diet, man.
Yeah, you have that shit just growing underneath on the trees. Yeah, Lou, I'm trying to get out the city eventually too. I'm just here because I have my family here and I have to take care of them and shit. That's the only reason why I'm still here, to be honest with you.
How many you got kids? Like how? What you got?
No, it's not even my kids. It's my parents and shit, and my my family.
Well, how old are your parents?
They're not that old.
So why wouldn't that? What you think they wouldn't want to live on a farm? They'd probably love to get out of the city.
No, it's just it's complicated, bro. Like my mom, she's sick and shit. I was like, I have to kind of stick around for now, but yeah, eventually I'll.
Bro, you know what? When I bought my place, like I said, it was really far back then, right? It was like in the middle of nowhere. And everybody was trying to convince me, where the fuck are you going out in the middle of fucking nowhere over there? Just fix it up and sell it, make some money and buy a house in Toronto. And then and my wife, she didn't even move here it took me almost a year to get her to even decide to move here. And now she wouldn't live in the city. She's like, she'd never go back, right? She loves it now. And then when I got here, I realized, fuck, for me to get to Newmarket back then was closer to get to the hospital from here than it was from where I lived in Toronto to get to the hospital. So it's like we make all these excuses in our mind to why we can't get out of the city. And in the end, if you really look at it seriously, none of them make any sense. None,
yeah, I know what you mean. It's like but I'm also there's multiple reasons. Also, I'm waiting for that bubble to burst, and wait for the right time, because right now, like, why would I buy when it's at the highest point? Like, it's been like that for a while. This whole, we really haven't seen any of this shit like this before.
Well, 2008, dude. I mean, what do you mean?
I was gonna mention 2000 since 2008.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This happens all the time. Like it's a cyclical cycle of peaks and valleys. And if you play your cards right, when things are high, when the prices are high, save your money, every penny. And then when it happens that things hit the ground, then you have that money to be able to jump into the market, right?
Well, Lou, let me tell you like this. I have that mind state, my friend. You know what I mean? Like, let me tell you this. For example, like, I pretty much treat this where I'm living like a studio apartment. You know what I mean? Like, I live in the living room. I sleep on the fucking couch. It folds out and shit. But I live in a 2-bedroom thing by myself. So I'm utilizing what I have around me. I'm waiting for it. I'm preparing for it. So
you're in a nice area, Sean, where you are? Are you like a expensive area or like a middle?
Middle, pretty middle. I wouldn't say upper middle class. I would say middle, like comfortable middle. It's a neighborhood where I'd say every other house is a 2-story.
Okay.
Maybe.
And it's not like a gated community or anything like that.
No, but there is some gated communities in here in this city, definitely. Just to clue you in, the city actually got best city to raise a family.
You live in a nice fucking area, man.
Best family to raise a city. This was a long time ago. This was probably over a decade ago. It's changed since then, but it's still held up a lot of its values. But there was a what I think was a bang bang psyop here recently, a few months ago. I have it on one of my channels, I think, where I covered it.
What psyop?
Yeah, Sean.
A bang bang
right.
psyop, which to me is a sign that they're trying to bring down the value in certain areas to.
Sean, you have to realize, like, time is the most valuable asset, right? So the fact that you're in like a decent home and stuff, like, I know you haven't like really been like working or anything, like, like you have somewhere to live no matter what, and food there either way. So you can pretty much, you have like unlimited fucking opportunity, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, more than as far as.
So you better use it, like, before you, like, you're not even 30 years old yet, so use it while you still have the chance,
No, I am 30. I'm 30.
Okay, well, even if you just started your 30s or something, so you're still young, so you can I don't know, man. Like for me,
Yeah,
I
no,
would
yeah,
have I wouldn't
ample
have that.
opportunity.
Yeah, I would never have that like luxury of just being able to just survive without worrying. So like you have to kind of get that fucking survival thing into your head. Fucking deal with it, bro. You're not a stupid person. You can easily just create a business or do something, man. Because you have a lot of time there. Right? You don't want to fucking waste your.
Yeah, I've had some time definitely wasted that I could have done, could have used better, but I do pick up gigs here and there, not enough, definitely with the pressure cleaning and stuff. Other than that, I mean, it's been a while since I was on the books, a tax following pet domesticated slave, as some might say, but I wouldn't have any. I'm humble enough that I know I might have to go back to that at some point if I don't figure something out, either with broadcasting, which would require a lot more dedication and investment monetarily and time and otherwise, or just getting more gigs or a combination of the two, which is probably what I should be doing. I should be investing more time into both, like, streaming, broadcasting, and doing some pressure cleaning gigs and stuff, but or finding something else. But
Go around the neighborhood, print up flyers, and just fucking spend a day and just put a flyer in everyone's mailbox in the neighborhood.
yeah, I'm thinking also maybe to go the Vistaprint route to print out some business cards and stuff. I've said that for quite a while.
Attach a business card to them, bro. Go old school. Go right to their fucking door. Knock on it. If they don't answer, then just give them the fucking, say free estimate. Give them like a deal or whatever.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that before. I think the business cards might be a nice touch, which I haven't done before. But yeah, that's basically what I have done.
I think
Since my car isn't operational right now, I only stick to my neighborhood. So, but yeah, that is a luxury, man, and I recognize that. I hear you. I do have some. I definitely would say I have some survival skills that many in this probably area aren't familiar with, based on some situations I put myself in over time in my life, in different forms, in different.
There's many ways you can attack. Like if you want to, like you'll be so fucking busy, with that fucking pressure washer, you won't even have time to fucking take a shit. Like you could do the flyer thing. You could put up signs around the neighborhood. You can do online marketing, SEO. Create like a nice logo, like a fucking shirt. So when you look like more like presentable when you knock on, for the people.
Right.
Whatever. You gotta play the fucking game, bro. You can easily make a fortune doing that.
Sorry, what business did you say you want to do, Sean? I missed it. I was
Pressure washing. Like pressure
Oh,
washing.
I'm not saying I want to do that. I mean, I would. That's just when I need, when I need some bread.
No, you've been doing it though, right? You have the pressure washer, right?
On and off, yeah, on and off. Like I haven't done a gig in over a week.
Like with masonry stones and stuff around people's property, like pressure wash it, like like the driveway and like the masonry stones around their property and all that. Yeah, people need that. Yeah.
Hey, there's guys on YouTube that go around, knock on people's doors to do pressure washing, and they film it. They do it for free.
Yeah,
and they film it and put it on YouTube, and they fucking got huge channels. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen a guy who does landscaping too, like overgrown. He goes and finds super overgrown lawns and fixes it up and for free and films them. Australian guy.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean that if someone does that their channel will be booming. I mean, the guy might have bought subs and et cetera, But it is a good point, though.
Well, if you just do it, you can just film it and make a profit off it at the same time.
No, it's a good point, though. Just to do service, do good service for the sake of doing good. I mean, yeah, I'm not. Be good, do good.
Yeah, well, you do a good service, and why not put it on YouTube? Why not? You might get a following, and you make a little bit extra on the side.
Yeah, it's like a whole fucking thing on YouTube. People love watching videos like that for some reason.
I don't get it. I don't know how somebody could sit and watch a whole video for like fucking 20 minutes on somebody cutting somebody's grass.
I don't get that.
I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, how do people watch Dr. Pimple Popper? I mean, people love that shit. It's strange, man. You know, my ex was obsessed with that shit. My little sister too. I mean, they love that stuff. Watching pimples get popped and it oozing out, the pus oozing out and shit. It's like a ASMR almost. It's fucking sick.
So fucking weird. Bro, I had an ex-girlfriend.
Like really, truly bizarre. I mean, it's bizarre behavior.
Women are weird like that. Like, I had an ex-girlfriend that's kind of weird like that. She'd find like any kind of little bump on my skin and like fucking pick at it and shit. Fucking weird. I know what you're talking about.
But then I had the same ex who loved that pimple popper shit. Like my little sister loves that shit. She would get, whenever I would fuck with a pimple or try to pop it, it would be like such a big deal. Like, no, you're gonna get a scar and like all this shit.
It must be a subconscious reflection of their desire to see, white cream pop out.
I was about to say, I was gonna say, I have a little pimple. If your sister wants to pop it, I got a little pimple. It's kind of like in my pants, but if she wants to pop it, it's available.
It's kind of crooked and broken, and
but it pops. It still pops.
Right.
Fucking Lou, man. He crazy.
Hey, so John sold that house. Was that in South Florida?
Fort Myers.
Okay.
Where the hurricane was.
Yeah, that's the West Coast. I guess that's still South Florida. I guess you could say southwest.
He's looking to buy another one right now. He's just got to sell this little property he has up here in Kawartha Lakes area. He's got bought a little property with just a little unfinished tiny house on it, and he's renovating it, finishing it. So once he sells that, he's gonna go look for something down in Florida for the winter. And that's what he does. He'll go down, he'll buy something, he'll spend the winter down there, go to the beach and fix up the property, and at the end of the year he'll sell it, make some profit, and come home.
Oh, but I thought you said he sold it already.
He did.
Oh, you're saying he's got another one.
He'll do it again, right?
Got you.
And you know how he started, my son? Because he's always been like, I'm not like him. Like, he's a salesman. I'm not a salesman. But he started by fixing up little four-wheelers and shit like that, right? Like I remember his first one, he bought this four-wheeler. He paid $400 for it. And the fucking motor came in a bag, all in pieces. And
is that where Juliana picked it up from?
No, this was when he was a kid. When he was really young. Like he was 12 years old or something. And I said, what the fuck? You blew your money on this piece of shit. And he fucking put his head to it. He put that motor together. He got it running.
OTW. God damn it, OTW.
He got it running, and I don't know what he sold. He sold it for like $1,200 or something like that. And he's been doing that ever since. He'll buy an old truck, fix it up, make it nice, and then sell it for a profit.
There you go, the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it costs money to make money, right? I mean,
yeah, but you start small, right? You could start small.
Right.
You know how I started? I went from when I was like 14. I was like 13, 14. I found like behind one of those public housing buildings and shit I was living in, there's like this forest area, and a bunch of people went there and had bonfires. There's like a shitload of empty beer cans, like $25 worth of them. That I so I took that and I kept doubling it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, like when I was a little kid, like I doubled it so much, like I got to like over 50 grand at that point. Like when I was a little kid, just off beer bottles or cans or something. So yeah, you can always build up.
There's so many things. If a young guy nowadays, especially with the internet, like, when my son first started doing this kind of stuff, there wasn't really the internet was there, but we had this stupid dial-up connection, and it barely worked, and it was like, you know, there wasn't a whole system set up for selling stuff. Like you put something on Marketplace nowadays, you have a million eyes looking at it, right? You could sell anything. You know, you could sell your people, get these fucking girls that sell their bath water on fucking line. It's like literally.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna do a fans only for my feet.
You're gonna what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a fans only for my feet.
Well, there you go.
People seem to like my feet, so I'm gonna do a fans only. How you doing, Cage?
What about Wizard Water? Is that on the menu?
There we go. We do that. Wizard Water.
Yeah, toroidal powered.
Come up with a good product, something that is you know, that you can create, or even, I don't know, something that you can either create or you can repair. Like if there's something that you know how to do, like,
hey, what about this? I'll make a window company, you know, the glass window company, and then I'll just hire Lou to go break all the windows in town.
Well, there you go.
Know, and then yeah, we'll be we'll supply. We'll have a deal going on the same week.
Another thing I do with the pressure cleaning, I make like you know, designs, so I can write and draw words and pictures and stuff. I do that.
With what? With the pressure washer?
Yeah, yeah.
What? So you
Literally
take like a dirty surface and you clean a certain area and make it into a design.
Yeah, like out front of my crib, I have love, truth on one square. I got like the word love, like but it's trippy how I wrote it. It's like L, and then the O is within the L, and then the V is within the O, and then the E is within the V. And it's trippy because it actually looks like a Masonic. The way that the E is inside the V, it looks like almost like the compass, the G and compass kind of thing.
They're watching you, Neil. They're watching you.
I didn't even mean to do it like that too. It just happened.
Are you artistic, Sean?
Artistic or autistic? Because I would say I'm both. But
he's an autist.
Who told you you're autistic? What is this bullshit?
Everybody's on the spectrum. Everybody's on the spectrum.
Yeah, everybody's fucking autistic now. I don't get that. I just had a big fucking argument with my mother over this yesterday. I go to see my dad, and she's talking about my nephew, who's kind of like you. He's 30 years old. He's spending all his fucking time on this stupid metaverse. And she says, "Oh, well, you know, he's autistic." I said, "Stop that bullshit. He's not autistic. He's just fucking lazy, wasting his time."
Everyone in Gen Z is autistic and depressed and retarded or whatever. It's a coping mechanism. They think it's like a badge of honor now to be like autistic or something. I don't know. It's very weird.
According to the definition, autism is merely a spectrum of skills, and some people have disabilities in that, and that is so ambiguous, because everybody has some kind of disability or some kind of lacking in skills, whether it be communication skills, developmental skills, whatever, because of various different societal realms of norms. If you want to be normal, that's the perfect thing to say that you're normal, is to say that I'm autistic. And to say that you're perfect is to say that you're not autistic. Everybody in life has challenges, period. And that's basic, simple definition of autism, is a challenge in one of the spectrums of living. That's all it is.
So then I'm definitely autistic, Wizard. No, you know, the problem is my mother, my sister, I think that they're looking for excuses to give the kid, right?
Yeah, it's normal to have challenges.
Fucking get off your ass and go do something. They're looking to give him an excuse to just stay on his ass on the metaverse.
Yes, it's normal in life to have challenges. And when we get to the point where we can accept those challenges and go through them, whether we're successful or not, we still accept the challenge. That's what brings us out of that scope of autism into the realm of perfecting something, but we're still not perfect because we have other traits that we're not perfect in. And again, so we see that autism spectrum as being a challenge and an inability to face that challenge. They say kids with ADHD, they're part of the autism spectrum. But I guarantee you, every little kid that I see sitting in front of a fucking video game can sit there and play that video game for hours on end. So don't tell me he has attention deficit disorder. He has a challenge disorder. He's not capable of facing challenges because the adults in his life don't face challenges themselves, and therefore they don't put it on him as a spiritual aspect to go ahead and face those challenges.
And in the end, it goes with everything. I mean, you just got to take, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's rights and freedoms, whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it's making money, you just have to take responsibility for it.
Yeah, it's like teaching kids how to tie their shoes back in the day. You would teach them how to tie their shoe. Once they learned how to tie your shoe, you quit tying their shoes. Well, what was the perfect solution for the parents who were tired of teaching their children how to tie shoes? Velcro.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness nowadays. The parents giving kids excuses to stay stagnant. You know,
exactly what I'm talking about. Rather than teach your little 3-year-old kid how to tie his shoes that he's got to learn how to put on himself now that he knows full well how to walk, instead of doing that, so that when he gets into Boy Scouts, he already has some kind of interest or knowledge of knots and how they work, just put him in Velcro. Go ahead and strap up in a parachute with Velcro, buddy.
So what did you do with this machine? You have a power washer, and how did you get work for it? Sean?
How do I get work? I mean, again, I don't do it enough, admittedly, not nearly enough. I pick up a job here and there.
Why not?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not very money motivated, but I do actually need money for some important things at the moment.
You don't have to be money motivated, right?
What I'm gonna do, bro? What the fuck else are you gonna do?
No, but you don't have to be money motivated. Is that correct?
No, you don't have to be, but it's like
you have the luxury of not being money motivated. Why?
Right. At least, to some degree. I wouldn't say, I have some things that no normal person would put off this long, like certain health things, certain, like my car is undrivable. I have a lot of things that I've allowed, but I've allowed myself to get very comfortable with having a lot of things not up to par with. I don't know. I'm gotten lazy in many areas of my life.
Comfortable. You're getting comfortable.
Yeah. My car's undrivable, but then again, it's like I'm at the as far as the car situation goes, the second I fix my car is the second that means I'm driving again, and the second I'm driving again is the second I'm standing on my right to travel again, which is the second that I'm any second closer to being back in a certain place that I'm not necessarily trying to go back to. But again, that's fear, I guess, to a large degree. But I could ask a few people why they don't drive very often, and that would bring a whole lot of conversation to and I know there would be a lot of people that would be interested in hearing the same questions answered.
Yeah, I don't drive at all, but I love to travel.
Good point. Good point.
We just got to get used to the terms and conditions that we're supposed to be using when we're talking about this stuff. And there's a distinct difference. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And even travel, am I right or am I wrong? Isn't travel even a commercial term?
It can be used as a commercial term.
Can be, my bad.
And so what somebody mentioned on Paul's panel last week sometime, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Brian O'Shea talking about being a transient being. And that's one of the things that comes down from the first article of the Constitution of UPU is freedom of transit. is guaranteed throughout the entire territory of the Union. And then you have the Federal Transit Authority that oversees and regulates the transportation system. So everybody's going about their right to travel to the Department of Transportation to get that DOT number, when in fact, I believe they should be going to the Transit Authority and getting a diplomatic ambassador of God, your diplomatic post.
So how would one go about doing that?
Through the Postal Service. You got to establish yourself as that sovereign being. You got to let them know that you're not, in fact, a United States citizen. You're not, in fact, a resident, and that you're an international being under the scriptures. Even Public Law 97-280 is instituted in the laws now as Public Law 97-280, Year of the Bible, 1984, wherein Ronald Reagan stated that the scriptures of the 1611 version of the King James Bible are the law of the land. So if the law of the land is the scriptures, you can use one scripture to denote that you are not a citizen of any sort other than from heaven. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, before thou was cast from the womb, I sanctified thee, I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Where do you think all the nations get their laws? From the prophets that came before them. If the law is in error, we need new prophets. Those new prophets are the ones that bring the truth.
Hey, Wizard, you want to hear something funny, though? Talk about new prophets. They're changing things, kind of, for the new times. You know what they're trying to do in the UK? They're trying to make, how God is referred to as a him?
Yes.
Usually. Yeah, they're trying to remove that now. Now it's like a they, them, or an it. Some type of, you know what I mean? It's a tranny now. God's a tranny.
Well, as I said before, my definition of God has nothing to do with male and female. Or
I know, but I'm just saying though, like look at how they're trying to distort this, and if you're saying the scripture, like they're trying to like distort the heart of the scripture that controls the law, the Libra or whatever you want to call it.
Think about Libra code, General Orders 100, and think about what they're talking about when they say they are transparent.
Hold on, what's the Libra code? What did you say, Libra code?
Yes, Libra code. It's General Orders 100. That's the Civil War law. That's the law that was brought in under President Lincoln in 1860. It's called martial law. Martial law is military law. And if you remember, military goes by ranks of Company A, Company B, Company C. It's companies. That's the corporate charter. It's a military corporate charter. So I say you got to have your diplomatic post. Diplomatic post is what supersedes the military post. Military post supersedes the general post. General Orders 100, the Libra code. So everybody else thinks they're general population when that's a military term. And when you break it down, general, Gene, that's gene, the root of genus, ral, the root of rule, genus rule, Genesis,
the creation
in the beginning. So what rules? Words. What's the law? Words. How do you create the law? Words. Is the law written down? They say it is, but that's a presumption.
So it's through spelling.
So if you bring a greater word, it supersedes what they've written down.
So it's like magic. It's like word magic.
Yep.
Like can we get back to Sean? Can we get back to Sean?
Yes, because that's a better subject. I like the entrepreneurship and drive of somebody being a creator out in the real world as opposed to on the panels. You got to be a creator in the real world first before you can be a creator on the panels. If you think you're taking everybody else's material, putting it together on this platform, and you're calling yourself a creator, I'm telling you, fuck off.
Yeah, well, that's definitely what I'm in the business of creating. Yeah, that's what I do.
That's why people don't like the information I put out, because it's already out there. I'm not a creator. I'm just putting out information that I think people should be seeing. If they want to sit there and tell you you're required to have a license, ask them why their law says animal includes man. And then ask them, do you suppose you can license the animal? And if not, then why are you saying I am required to have a license?
See, that's why, Wizard, I'm a grower, right? So I grow as a farmer, if you want to call it that. But yeah, so it's a process of creation. So that gets it closer to that goal, you know.
You're a replenisher.
Yeah.
In my terms, you're a replenisher, according to the scripture. You're replenishing the soil by letting the plants that you grow yourself, instead of sending them off somewhere else or raking up the leaves and sending them down to a burn pile, you let them turn themselves over in the soil. You don't cut your lawn, you grow it. So
back to the cycles.
Yep. In season, you stay in the season with the plants. You don't cut the plants so they're in your season, because some orchard got to mow it to be a certain length.
So, Wizard, you see, like with words, you can go into the etymology, you can go into, you know, the deeper meaning, the root words, the prefix, suffix, all that. So have you looked into the mathematics behind the words? Like, you know, you can call it gematria if you want. I know you have. What have you learned from that?
Well, it's just like Smith 7. You know, he wants to come up here and repeat all these numbers and stuff. It's just a coincidence. When you get down to the root element of everything, those root words, and you look back to the origins, you get this spiritual intent that has been disillusioned as it's been transformed and converted. Today's English language, a judge sat on that bench, if I can call him a judge, magistrate, whatever they want to be, asked me, do you understand English? And as a kid that walked around with dictionaries, multiple dictionaries, I learned that everybody has various different definitions for the same word. And when it comes down to it, that judge, well, that's it.
Sorry, was it?
Do you understand
dictionary
English?
is like a book of spells. It dictates your reality through the words that you're able to use, right?
Right. And when he asked me if I understood English, I vehemently stood there and said, yes. And little did I know, upon reflecting on it later that night, I realized he asked me a very valid question. He gave me the biggest clue in my life that I don't understand English. Because if I understood English, I would realize it for what it is. It is just a artful language in and of itself. And so when I started looking deeper, that's when I got into the roots of the words. Then I realized, wait a minute, there's a cause for the words. So I looked that up, and it come to find out it's etiology. That's the root of the cause. And that leads to the root of the knowledge. So I look for roots in everything, because that's what we are. We are the roots of everything on this planet, as stewards to take care of it and keep it going for our sustenance. We don't have to worry about the birds. We don't have to worry about the bees. We don't have to worry about the flocks. He says he even takes care of the smallest bird. What makes you think he's not going to take care of us? So everybody thinks that they got to sit down in this little box and call it a home, and then they have to live a lifestyle according to that home. Again, it goes back to the transient being we are meant to be, strangers and sojourners with him. And it's his lands which shall not be sold forever. That's what tells me we're supposed to be transients, not settling down in these big scabs over the earth. Because that's what they are, these big concrete slabs called cities and municipalities and towns and whatever you want to call them. They're big scabs. The earth was not meant to have rock on the surface. It was meant to have soil so that plants could grow.
Yeah, Wizard, I do agree with you. So do you think that words, like from my understanding of looking into this stuff, I think words are a mixture of vibration, like tonality, vibration, you know, like also with intention.
Sounds.
Yeah, sounds or vibration.
We created sounds first, and the first sounds that we made were vowel sounds. They're the most naturally inherent sounds. You will hear pigs say, "ee." It's an E sound, or an O sound, or an ah sound. And so when you put them together in the proper method, Each vowel creates a toroidal current, whereas consonants do not. Consonants actually, what they call fibrillate.
Yeah, because if you go into like deep, because Wizard, if you go into like deep esoteric stuff, like even like there's some like specific, like even like Enochian words or Hebrew words that are resonated in a certain way. I think that's why it's called spelling, right? Like because you're literally casting a spell.
Yeah, you're distracting them from the natural vibration of the Om.
You're like invoking. It's like an invocation or an incantation, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing.
Yeah, what's the Om? That's the power behind the vibration.
Sean, are you still there?
Sir.
What's holding you back?
Holding me back from what?
From what you got to do.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Okay. What about you that's holding you back? What is it about you that's holding you back?
Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of success more so, I would say, but also
you gotta live without fear, brother. Come on.
Yeah, live without fears, good brothers and sisters.
No, you need to slap yourself in the fucking face. You know what I mean? You gotta look yourself in the mirror and just fucking punch yourself in the head and get to work. Fuck, it's up to you. If you're comfortable until you aren't, right? So if you want to be comfortable for the long period of your life, do the hard shit when it's easy. Do the hard things when they're easy right now, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's a good point. I like that. Do the hard things when they're easier. Huh.
You're better off, right? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
So like what exactly? Besides, okay, save money. Okay, right. What else? I mean,
deal with if you want to do the pressure washing thing, fucking deal with it. Go.
Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do pressure cleaning.
That was the other thing I was going to ask you. What do you want to do?
Well, if you want to start with that,
what did you want to do? Like, do you remember anything that you wanted to do or be, or when you were a child?
I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to be a successful musician. I wanted to be a lot of things, man. I don't know. I mean, that's the one thing I've never really wanted to do. One thing, and that's what I see that the world tries to get you to do. It tries to squeeze you into one box, and be this, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a bag clerk, be a banker.
I agree with Pineal.
Are you sure that's not you, Pineal? That's trying to squeeze yourself into a box? Who says that you can't do something to do with the ocean and be a musician and do whatever?
Yeah, that's a good point. There's nothing. Yeah, of course, there's nothing that. Yeah, and that's the thing is, I would love to do that. Be multidimensional on that. But when you do that, it is a lot more. It is a lot more challenging and a lot more.
You have all the time in the world. Challenges are fucking makes life enjoyable. If everything was easy, it'd be boring as fuck. What would you do?
What attracted you? What attracted you to marine biology? What was it that?
That was when I was younger, but I honestly thinking back, hindsight 2020, I think it, because it's not something I think so much about anymore. But I think parallel to my current interest is that it's just I'm fascinated by the unknown, by the occult, by the hidden, by the unknown, by what's kept from us. I mean, and of course, the ocean is is the perfect example of that. I mean. Or if you want to go even deeper, the bottom of the ocean, or what's going on down there. So
yeah, we have no clue.
Right, exactly.
We know less about the ocean than we know about the firmament.
Right, and if there's anything true about any type of inner Earth or Agartha, if there's any truth to any of that stuff, then we're literally in this. We don't know anything essentially. Like apparently the ones who do live inside this realm, whereas we're on the surface, they call us the surface dwellers. If there's any truth to that, I don't know, but something tells me that there is. But
when did you get? Can I ask you when you got into, like, if you can pinpoint a time that you got heavily involved in this interest towards the unknown and the occult? Was there a time that you got involved into that? Like,
well, keep in mind when I say occult, I don't mean like what people probably think. I just mean the hidden, like what.
Yeah, the occult. Yeah, I get what you mean. The hidden,
yeah.
the unknown,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
All
I
that
wouldn't
means is
necessarily.
just.
I
Sorry.
wouldn't necessarily say the parent. I wouldn't necessarily say the paranormal, but at a point that too a little bit. I don't know. I grew up on fucking X-Files. I grew up on a lot of that stuff, and now I'm gonna start watching The Outer Limits, which I don't really watch a lot of media. Most of my media consumption is these panels. A lot of proper instruction motivates people, and OTW and et cetera, et cetera. You guys know wherever you find me, that's where I probably frequent. So,
what are you getting from proper instruction motivates people? Are you getting something from it?
Conscientious co-creation with other interesting individuals, for lack of a better.
How do you apply it to your life when you're not here, or you're not on proper instruction motivates people?
Well, again, I'm lacking. I'm slacking on my broadcasting. I'll give you that, and I'm slacking on upgrading some equipment stuff.
I'm not asking that. I'm not asking whether you're slacking or not slacking.
I'm just saying I don't really have many fruits to show for my.
Is there any place you're applying what you're learning from proper instruction motivates people that you do try to apply to your everyday life or your real life or your outside life away from these panels? Is there anything that you actively try to apply?
I'm still in the beginning of trying to learn just what it means to correct the record. So I'm not even really in the actual correcting of said record. So you know what I'm saying? I'm still so early in the game that I'm just trying to learn what the fuck it means to correct your legal status and standing. You know what I mean? And how I've gotten to where I'm at. And luckily I don't have a great deal of debt. Luckily, I didn't go to a fucking big university. I did go to a private school, though. I did go to the Cordon Bleu Culinary College, and I did incur some still over 10,000 in debt that I have. So, but I may or may not have struck some luck, some gold, whatever, by waiting and not really paying a lot of my debts, because now it seems like I'm not getting bothered anymore by the collections, and I think it's because the student loan department fucking is dealing with a multi-billion-dollar fraud investigation and whatnot. If you've heard about Sally Mae, or not Sally Mae, I think it is Sally Mae, Navient and Sally Mae, those big.
Well, the whole thing is a fraud, as far as
of course. So I just, by waiting it out and not paying all the time, or really I wasn't paying much at all. I was letting every letter kind of just get thrown into the recycling bin. So.
What attracted you to culinary school?
There was a point where I was kind of getting pushed to just do something, right? Because I got out of high school and I wasn't doing anything for a couple of years, and there were people telling me like, you got to do something, man. Everyone's doing this and that. They're already on their third year of fucking, whatever, university, whatever, and you're not doing anything. And so it was kind of some people. Other people thought it would be a good idea. I as well thought it was a really good idea. And looking back, I mean, I wouldn't change it if I could. I met a lot of great people and gained a lot of experience. And I'm a bomb-ass cook. So, yeah, I'm about to make some fucking completely homemade mango coconut, like literally coconut from my backyard that I opened with a machete, took out the coconut.
Mango Man.
Yeah, Mango Man. So
Sorry.
I got mangoes.
Start with the pressure washer. You have the pressure washer. You can make enough money within like a month to get a
Mango
food
Man.
truck.
Mango Man.
You get a food
Mango
truck
Man.
with the pressure washing shit, and then start fucking catering and doing food trucks and shit, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah. Look at them muscles.
What about Sean?
Mango Man.
Blowjobs?
Blowjobs? Yeah, I mean, I've thought
about
Mango
Man. Look at it. Will you just look at it, please?
Blowjobs?
Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, back pages, you mean? OnlyFans? Is that what you're
We're talking about mangoes here. Look, they're gorgeous. Oh, yeah.
You think I have enough? I think I need more. Luckily, I have more in the fridge.
I love it.
It's actually out of control.
Mangoes? Those are
Oh, brilliant. I love it, Pineal.
I just had my first mango last week. One of the best ones first mango in a long time.
Dude, I got every color here. I wish I could share.
I'm so jealous, guys, because this isn't. I don't live in a mango land. You know, I'm in Scotland. It's not mango land.
Yeah, well, I'm not like
mints
I
and
don't have.
tatties.
Yeah, I'm not like Peniel. I don't have them locally where I just go harvest them, but I can at least get them at the stores.
Yeah, what I need to start doing is I need to start selling. I need to start selling mangoes. Is really what I need to do.
Do you?
Hey,
Sean,
why don't you create some products? Mango man.
Fucking OTW is quick with it. Mango man.
No, but Pineal, you can do products, and so you can like make popsicles and things like that. But out of fresh
and I mean, don't
mango.
get me wrong. I don't let me forget. I do have a product that I need to start marketing again. Pineal powder, it's called, and no, it's not cocaine. It has no illegal substances in it. But I actually have made it before with small
it's not
amounts.
made out of pineals.
Oh no!
Ironically, it does have pine in it. It does have one thing that has pine in it. What's it called? I can't remember the name of the product now.
The young sprouts, the young pine sprouts at the end of the branch.
So basically, what I do, I basically get like most of my favorite supplements, and I empty the capsules and I shake it up and I recapsulate them. And it's got like everything in it: ashwagandha, ginseng, maca, medicinal mushrooms, fucking everything, dude.
Fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl, oxycodone, yeah, all the good stuff. No, none of that. Nothing pharmaceutical nothing pharmaceutical. No pharmaceuticals.
Okay, what about mango jam?
Mango jam.
Mango salsa.
Salsa. I've already made mango salsa. I've made mango chutney. Next is mango muffins because I'm slacking.
Nice.
I usually would have made them by now. Mango pie. Still haven't made that. Probably make some mango
So
key lime pie.
Can I turn Mango Man into a song? The Mango Man poem.
I'm looking at the comments. We have someone named.
We gotta turn it into a song.
We have someone named Squirrels. Squirrels says I offer the worst advice on the internet.
Make some mango barbecue sauce.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think my advice is that bad.
Okay. See, and then the key, I guess the key would be to get a booth. At there's like a Sunday market, but it's probably not cheap. That's the whole thing. I'd probably spend a handsome dollar.
What about a mango stand? There. Why don't you use like a lemonade stand, but you make like mango juice and you like to start with that?
Yeah, exactly.
That right outside of
my
your
question
house,
is, could I incur any trouble doing that on just say the side of the road? I mean, what could they say to me?
Nothing.
Ooh, I don't know. You're dealing with all that stuff that Wizard talks about. That's what you're dealing with. Sorry. Come.
The thing is, I'd have to be willing to give up some of these mangoes, which so far I've gifted some people, like my grandma's caretaker. I gave her like
his mangoes so much that he can't separate himself from the mangoes.
I can't do it. It's hard, man. It's really hard. They're gonna go bad if I don't.
We need to
start
turn
giving
that
them away.
poem into a song, Patrick. We got to turn that poem into a song.
Sean, I have a friend that used to make like this hot sauce, and he just used to make it at home for himself and his family. And he started bottling it and just like going and selling it to his friends, a little bottle here, a little bottle there. And he just kept at it. And today he's got a factory, and it's like less than 9 years that he's been selling this stuff. And he's got a factory that makes it, and he sells it to the supermarkets. He's got, you could pull something like that off, a mango hot
What
sauce.
is it, local?
Yeah, it'll be local.
Sauce, like
that's really cool. Yeah,
it's a good gig. That's a good gig for sure. I mean, even if you just do it seasonally, pull in whatever, even if it's a few thousand. I mean, that's
you can throw CBD in it. Make a CBD version.
Yeah, absolutely. But then you could also do like compots, and so you're getting into stuff that people can take home and they can store it, and it's going to last them. Yeah, and then you can also do the CBD in that as well, and all that stuff, and herbalize it, with different sort of flavors.
I'd be,
you know what I
I'd
mean?
be
You know, and
a
it's
customer,
crazy.
bro.
I don't smoke more, and it's more so just that I guess I've been saving money and that
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't talking
I
about
don't
smoking. I was talking about actual herbs. So I was
no,
talking
I know.
about flavors.
I was just gonna
Oh
segue
right, okay.
into my spiel
Oh
about
right,
how
okay, okay.
people don't know that mango is one of the only foods that's proven to increase a cannabis high because it has a compound in it. Mangoes do has a compound in it. I can't remember if it's
It's called mycin. Micrin.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. I was gonna say mysticerin, whatever. I don't know how to
So
say
it
it properly.
enhances.
Micrin.
It enhances
Yeah, it
when it
affects
comes
the
into the receptor in your brain.
right. It
Basically.
affects the blood-brain barrier, so the THC
Right.
and or CBD and or other cannabinoids can more
THC, yeah. CBD,
quickly and more effectively permeate the brain and
Yeah,
have a
micrin is it's a terpene that's in a bunch of plants, including mangoes. There's a high percentage in mangoes. So what happens is
right. So it's
when you
kind of
ingest
almost
a
like
mango,
one terpene
yeah, it's a
positively
you get the mycrine,
complementing.
whatever how you pronounce it. And what happens is that there's something called the entourage effect with the different terpenes.
Mhm.
Like it makes a
But you
symbiotic
do need
effect at the
you do need to
oxidant.
know the spelling.
Hey,
Let's Wizard wants to say something. So let's take it back to
MYCRENE.
the spelling.
hey, Sean,
Can we?
what you could do something like a mango drink and sell it in all the pot stores using that as a
Yeah,
primer, saying, "Look, you drink this,
a refresher.
and
Good
you
one.
just sell like little shots of mango, and you put them in
Oh
all the
yeah,
pot stores. And you go to
with
the
some
pot stores and
THC
say,
in it.
"Look, mango is
Nom,
proven," and you
nom,
have
nom,
a little write up on them, and it says what it is. With
Yeah.
Yeah, like use the
Mango
mango man thing, would change like the thing to a weed leaf instead of the regular leaf at the top, and there you go. You're the mango man. You're
Wizard
good.
wanted to say something. He's buggered off now. Go on, Wizard, come back.
Yeah,
He was
Wizard
like,
never
he was
shuts
there.
up. No, I'm just kidding.
No, just let him say what he wants to say.
I'm just kidding.
If you're going to do anything with food and sell it to the public, I urge you do not use anything but potassium sulfite for the preservative. It is the only preservative that will leave no chemicals behind. Potassium sulfite.
Well,
I don't even like the idea of a sulfite because
Yeah, it's not good stuff.
No
Sulfites are not
one wizard.
good
He
for our
studied all
body.
the FDA's fucking requirements by now.
I'm sure it's better than a lot of alternatives. Like sodium benzoate. People don't know sodium benzoate actually when metabolized, it actually converts to benzodiazepine, like benzos, that people take in the body. And sodium benzoate. Look how many things sodium benzoate is in. I mean, fucking foods, drinks. It's in
wash products that we put on our skin as well. It's in loads of it. And lip
Same with
balms as
potassium
well.
sorbate. Potassium sorbate's in everything, but I'm not sure about any anything with that. I know it's not something you want to consume, but yeah, sodium benzoate literally converts to benzodiazepine in the body.
Yeah.
So people wonder why there's so many people walking around doped, just doped, doped up because they are doped up. They're eating dope.
Well, it's Thames as well. Temazepam is another one. And I mean, I don't know about now, but I know that in the 90s and the early 2000s, temazepam was like really horrendous up here. And I actually saw folk that took it. And literally, they took it, and within about, I don't know, 15 minutes, they were like this kind of melting, they couldn't control.
Literally, darling, literally.
Literally, darling, exactly. Nice one.
I always say that.
We got
But it
Nachi
wasn't funny.
Kata back in here. What's up, Nachi?
No, but yeah, I
Hey.
think it's probably worse here now on the States, whatever, than because a lot of the foods in the U.S. I want to say the U.S. I don't want to say North America. I feel like it's specifically the States in particular have so many foods with chemicals that aren't allowed anywhere else in the world. So we have a lot. The GMO agenda here is a lot.
You're funny that you brought that
No,
up.
really,
Brian,
honestly, no. Here in Britain, it's just as bad. But I've looked at products. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just watching this video about like even like ketchup. It was like Heinz ketchup.
Yeah.
The one in
It's
Canada
got
only
horrible
has
shit
like
in it.
3
Horrible.
ingredients. So the one in the U.S. has like a bunch of shit you can't even pronounce, like over like 20 of them. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it's changed here
you
now.
guys get a lot worse
It's
food than
changed.
we do for some reason. The
Well, no, it
FDA
has
is a lot
actually
more
changed now.
lenient.
No, seriously, Cage, it's changed because I read the ingredients, you know, before I actually buy something. Sometimes I get caught out, but that seriously, there's a lot of stuff in simple things like you say, ketchup, which should be like 3 ingredients, or maybe some spices and garlic and salt and pepper in it, but you know, really no more than that. But here now, you can't even pronounce some of the stuff that's in simple food products.
No, but
So
what I'm
you know,
saying is like this: like if the video is about like they compared basic products like ketchup, like a bunch of other ones, like the
yeah.
American versus Canadian one. For some reason, the
Oh,
Americans, I guess the FDA, they're more lenient. They just allow a lot more shit into their products. So,
oh yeah, I know that. I'm well aware of that.
I'm sure the
Yeah.
UK is a bit better too. America's the worst. Though,
Well, I don't know that look now, and I've seen this in the last few years where on food products in Britain there's like FDA approved, which I never saw before.
we have Health Canada. US is FDA. I think yours is called.
Yeah, but we're in Britain, so why am I
Yeah, yours.
seeing
You have a different
FDA
name.
approved on my food? Why am I
Must be
seeing
imported.
FDA approved?
It's probably imported from
Well,
America.
no, it's just basic bread. Like it's not particularly from America. It's bizarre. It's very strange. So I'm really kind of picky now. I can't really eat most of the bread because of all the chemicals in it. I don't think it's actually gluten intolerance. I think it's chemical intolerance. Hey, Nachiketa. Nice to see you, man.
Hi. What's up? Just listening in.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Thank you.
OTW in the house.
That's my name.
The sound of silence.
I'm home, guys.
Hello, Mr. You Tell Me.
Hey, how did your meal go with your lady the other night?
Didn't happen.
It didn't go.
Our babysitter knocked out. Shut up. You leave me alone now. Quit picking on me.
Sorry.
Don't you pick on me.
You need to take care, man, please.
Can you say you're the weakest link? Goodbye, Minnow. I gotta hear that.
Sorry, second.
Can you say you're the weakest link? Goodbye, like this show.
Oh yeah, I think I can actually. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You're fired.
I just want to say you guys were talking about bread, and you vote with your dollars, right? And so the best bread you can get, in my humble opinion, and I would say it's not an opinion, it's a fucking fact based on looking long and hard, no pun intended, at the market and what's available. But this brand, Food for Life, also better known as Ezekiel bread, right here. They've actually recently adopted the glyphosate-free seal, which means there is no traces of glyphosate or Roundup in their bread.
Yeah, cool.
Hold on.
So I'm going to tell you what, and I'm not.
Do you know? Does anyone know what that scripture is? Ezekiel 4:9, like on the bread.
I know. I was just going to say it's rather biblical, isn't it?
Yeah, it says, as described in the Holy Scripture verse, take also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and spelt, and put them in one vessel and make bread of it. Ezekiel 4:9.
Right. Okay, but there is also something that is not so obvious from these teachings, and that is to learn how to make the bread yourself. So you
satanic bread.
Yeah, I'm sure if we asked Mr. Tribe
you can't grow the seed yourself. then and you can get the seed, you mill it yourself, and then you know exactly what ingredients you're putting into your bread. And that way, it's not in a plastic bag, it's not been sitting on a shelf or in some warehouse for like, I don't know how long they store these things, but it's a long time. There'll still be stuff in it that they're not telling you. And I don't trust them anymore since they said, you will eat the bugs.
Yeah, well, like it still has gluten. It has organic sprouted gluten, or sorry, organic.
Right,
No,
but
it's
you
not
can do that yourself.
organic wheat gluten, but organic wheat gluten, and yeah, you're right though. I mean, but again, like with the gluten
prefer
topic,
not to do that.
brings into question, are people really that gluten intolerant, or is it more of a matter of all the wheat is so fucking infested with the glyphosate, just like the peanut thing, are people really allergic to peanuts, or are they reacting
it's
to
how they're
not
grown,
eating?
and yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's that, and it's also what was inside of the whats that they got as children.
Well, yes, of course, there is that.
And
But so, what I tend to choose is I'll pay a little bit more for my bread, but it comes in paper rather than in plastic. So if I am going to buy it, I try not to buy bread in plastic, or I go into a shop where I can get it loose and then put it into my own basket, that kind of thing. But really, if you can,
What happened
make
to
your own.
Lou's saying it's like he's blocked or something. Look, you're talking about fucking bread. You got Lou blocked. See what happens when you talk about bread in front of
Freedom
Italians?
Grower should be here, isn't it? Because it's the Dick Rising. Know what I'm saying? Hey,
It's
come
like
on,
a
you know
block. Lou,
my
I see
sense
your
of
comment,
humour.
bro. You can't get back
Come on,
in.
I was a
Refresh the
courier,
device or
darling.
something.
I'm
I don't even know
all
what's
good
going
with the
on
dirty humour.
on Lou's end. It's not on my end. It's Lou. I
It's
don't
on
know.
your end, Lou, bro. You gotta restart
Yeah,
your shit.
reboot your phone, man, or something, man. Turn it off and turn it back on. Something happened. You're having issues.
But it's funny though. I was just thinking about Lou, and then you're talking about bread. I'm like, he has to be trying to get in here right now. I looked at the comments. Of course, he's blocked. I can talk. I'm part Italian too. For fuck's sake.
There we go.
Yeah, it was I had to restart my phone. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Anybody ever had Jimmy John's?
I'm trying to see where the bread.
Echo.
Jimmy John's makes some really good bread.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I do like their bread, but it's definitely not something you want to be eating a lot of. But then again, I will be honest enough to say that back in my days of dumpster diving and such, I was definitely avid dumpster diver of Jimmy John's breads, because they just I wouldn't even have to dumpster dive. You just go there at night and get them before they throw them out.
Hi Neil, you're a man after my own heart. I was a dumpster diver.
Oh
yeah, but
well,
I sold.
I like the name Freegan. We're Freegans, because we.
Shut the fuck up, man. Not the freaking shit, bro.
Freeganism is
Pineal, you live in Florida. You could just make your own bow and arrow and go to any little piece of wild land and kill yourself a boar. There's pigs all over the place. And you have,
I don't want no fucking swine, man.
Amazing wild boar meat.
Oh man,
I would rather. Look, if I was gonna eat meat, I would rather. And by the way, I'm in an area where, keep in mind, I don't think I've ever seen a fucking wild boar, dude. Just saying.
No. You know what they have, Lou? Lou, you know what they have? They have like an issue with iguanas there. They have so many. You never seen the iguana man? Talk about man.
Apparently,
There's an iguana
tasty
man
as well.
on fucking YouTube, and he hunts iguanas. Like you're supposed to hunt man.
You got fish. You could go fish in every little canal.
Like
I'm
a turned into a lizard.
Hey,
you can live
gentlemen,
off
come
mangoes
on.
and iguana,
Can't
bro.
hear you
Mangoes
all.
and iguana.
Right. So apparently iguanas are quite tasty. Apparently. So anyone got any iguana iguana recipes?
If I really wanted to eat iguana, I would have just gotten the fucking big sucker that got its head stuck in my fence a week or two ago that I saved by cutting the fence and letting it free to fucking jump back.
Guana man. That's a sick
You
soundboard.
freed it though. You let it go.
Mongo man.
Yeah, I started my day. That was how I literally
Well,
started
you
my
know what's
day.
going to happen? You will have abundance. I guarantee.
Yeah,
Listen, wild boar meat is one of the best meats you can eat. It's not like the pigs you buy from the store that'll get you sick. Wild boar meat
Roadkill
is all
man.
omega-6.
Obviously.
And there's so many of them down there that some farmers will pay you to kill them.
Yeah.
They pay people all the time to kill these wild boars. And you just
They
take
red
that
up
meat
their
home
fields,
and
don't they?
you could sorry?
Oh dear.
They red up their fields and shit.
But here's the thing. Right, so yeah, but it's good fertilizer though. So here's the thing that I was thinking about, and whenever you go and hunt, like just can I just say this, because I think it's important, because we're all going to have to be doing more of this. We're going to have to hunt more. So if we're going to hunt, we have to realise that if we kill the mother, there ain't going to be babies, so there ain't going to be much hunting going on in the future. So you need to be selective about who you hunt out of the stuff that is out there on the land. Whether it's pheasant, venison, any kind of fowl or pig. Well, but I'm talking to Lou because he knows what I'm talking about.
Sorry, Manel,
What?
you have to understand though, there is
Pardon?
such an overpopulation of wild boar in Florida that it's become such a problem.
Oh, really?
That farmers are losing half their crops over all these. They're paying people to shoot wild boars just to
Right,
protect
well,
their
I didn't know
Ezekiel
that.
bread. It's
Roadkill man.
It's to protect
Right.
their Ezekiel bread.
Roadkill man. No.
I was,
Hey, in America,
I was
Lou,
actually.
you know what they do?
Oh, okay.
They get into
I
a
didn't
fucking
realise about the
helicopter.
boars.
They go in a helicopter and they shoot boars with fucking AR-15s, like real Americans over there. So they do.
They actually do it.
In a
They
helicopter.
do it to protect the crops.
Yeah.
And they shoot
they tear the
everything.
fields up and
Mothers,
shit.
babies,
Well,
everything.
but I was
They shoot
speaking on a
everything.
broader scale. Oh no, but I mean, look, I wasn't talking about one particular animal here. So, granted, okay, I didn't know about that. There's like it's like rabbits. You know, rabbits can get out of hand as well, and we've had sort of rabbits get out of hand in Britain in various parts.
Yeah.
But however, I'm talking about on a longer scale. I'm talking about on a bigger scale and a longer scale. So we know that we are going to have to fend for ourselves. We're not going to be going to the supermarkets so much anymore. So we're going to have to be hunting our own food. And so you don't kill everything at once, because then you'll have nothing. And the farming isn't what it was, because they've destroyed most of the farms, not just in America, but over here as well. Holland and
No, if the grid goes down, and we have to really eat OTW, I call the ribs. Actually, I call the wings. You know what I mean? I dibs on the wings. OTW is wings.
That's funny. Let's stop. We're never going to eat you, darling. Don't you worry.
Cannibal man.
Oh no.
Hey, Pineal, when I come down to Florida, I'm going to go fishing with Singer, and we'll catch some nice fish. We'll bring them to your place. We'll barbecue them. We'll go shoot a couple of wild boars. We'll make
I'm not good enough to fish with you
prosciuttos.
guys? Is that what you're trying to say?
We'll make some Italian sausages out of them.
Nom 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 nom.
Health problems in a month.
God, I'm like thousands of miles away. Not fair. Not fair.
You just say fish
I'm going to go
sausage?
and salt for a minute.
Why?
Because I'm so far away and I can't eat all that nice nosh.
Well, jump on a plane and you can join us this winter.
Parasite man.
This winter? I thought you were coming this summer, dude.
Well,
I'd love to meet you guys.
It depends.
It would be
if I
great.
sell my property.
Sitting around a fire,
man,
roasting
keep
a
pushing me,
hog. Nom 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 nom.
I thought
Lots
it was
of
going to be
mangoes.
Yeah,
Mango
I thought it was going to be
man.
Lou and our singer and Pineal and Tribe and we were all going to link up this summer. I thought that was the plan, but
well, like I said, if I do sell my property, then I might come down like before you know it. But because my
God,
plan
please
is
don't
right
come
now to
here.
sell, my plan is to sell the property and then buy my dad's property. And then once I get that deal done, then I'm heading down to Florida. I'm going to come down for sure
Good. That's
in the
even
winter
further
with my
away
son.
from me. That's perfect. Go downwards. Go the other way. Right. The
Yeah,
opposite of where I live.
We're
Great
going to
idea.
light Quebec on fire before we leave, and then we're going to head for Florida.
speaking of lighting things on fire, man, you become quite the regular fucking Tommy Chong lately. What's up with that, dude?
I'm going to light Quebec. Quebec. I'm going to light
man.
Quebec on fire. It's okay. It's already burning. It's already burning. Let it burn. Let Quebec burn.
Let it burn.
Oh,
Let it
no.
burn. Gotta let it burn. Yeah, well, Trudeau will do that for you. You don't have to worry about that. So.
Yeah, that's true. No, man. In Florida, especially Florida, places like Florida has so much amazing wildlife that you could survive just on stuff that you would actually help farmers. Like rabbits, I don't think there's any season to hunt rabbits there because there's so many that they destroy a lot of crops, right? So
Like
there's
Britain.
rabbits, there's hogs,
Rabbit.
there's invasive species. Who's
Rabbit
talking?
man.
Holy shit! I can't
Rabbit
explain anything without
man,
somebody
blowing
talking.
out his fuse up alone.
Rabbit
man.
Oh God.
And the thing is going to be a
Right,
long,
we
long
need to
time.
do
All
a
right, Lou, go
poem
ahead, Lou.
about
We're
Rabbit
sorry, Lou.
Man.
Lou, were you born in
we're all
Toronto?
sorry, Lou.
What?
Were you born in Toronto?
I was born in Toronto. Yeah, Doctor's Hospital.
Everything makes sense now. Okay, now I understand it all.
Doctor's Hospital. I literally tore apart. I tore apart the rooms that all my kids were born in, and I was born in.
Wait, what hospital? What hospital?
Doctor's Hospital on College Street.
I was born at the Jane and Finch one.
Oh yeah. So you were swapped out at birth for sure.
100% something going on. Bro, Toronto's a weird place. I'm telling you, you know about it over here. It's weird.
Yeah, but you know what's the weirdest thing about you two guys is that you're the weirdest individual I ever met, and you guys represent Ontario and Toronto. This is mind-boggling in my opinion. Aren't there
It's
any
fucked out
other
here, bro.
like normal human beings from Ontario and Toronto? There's like just
No,
like
this is as
aliens?
normal as you get, bro.
Holy
But are
shit.
there any normal human beings anywhere, though?
And
That's
I thought
the question.
Yeah,
States was
define
weird, man.
normal
You
and
guys
define
fucking
human.
Yeah,
Toronto's
define
like
words.
Toronto's like a shittier version of the Bronx or downtown LA. It's just a shittier version of it.
guys, we
The
know
aliens
we
are
now
coming.
know where the aliens reside, ladies and gentlemen. It's in Ontario, Canada. There, I think
I'm the one in the back.
you can find some in Toronto, or they stem from Toronto and spread outwards.
Yeah. In Quebec, they're amazing. In Quebec, they're all interbred. It's like
Morse code.
it's like they say stuff like, "Boy, be good to your sister. She's your mother." Right? Only in French. What the hell's going on?
We're doing
We're playing silly buggers.
We're doing intercommunication through Norse code.
Yeah, it's Morse code, Lou.
Morse code.
Total nonsense.
Help!
I just revealed the secret. I just broke the oath.
But yeah, who's to say that they're not looking at us the same way we're looking at these animals, and maybe all this quote unquote disclosure that's here is is just harvesting time, man. And who's to say that, again, you're talking about harvesting the boars and you could say that I'm just the same, but towards the plant kingdom, the way I'm harvesting in these mangoes, but the difference is these mangoes are falling off the tree. So they're
I know. It's just that I know the mangoes are falling off the tree. The mangoes are falling off the tree.
Free food, man.
Free food,
The
man.
mangoes
Exactly.
are falling off the tree,
man. Come
the
on.
mangoes are falling
I
off
love
the
it.
tree, but it's the Ezekiel bread that you got to get. That you dig them up like potatoes, right? That Ezekiel bread, you go, you pull up a plant, you dig it up, and you get like 4 or 5 Ezekiel breads out of the ground, right?
No. I mean, I don't even really eat it all that much. That bread, like literally lately, man, my diet's mainly mangoes. But
Sean, you're not surviving on mangoes. Don't give me that bullshit.
I said
I bet
practically.
your body loves the mangoes.
50% of my diet lately is what I mean to say. Half of my diet lately is mango. So
yeah, if
of course
all
I'm
you
eating.
were eating was, if all you were eating was mangoes, 6 months you'd be dead.
And this is what people miss, man.
Yeah.
With
but you're about to
mangoes
look like a mango, you know.
and
no,
and many other things, man. People miss is the skin, man. And people just don't eat the skin. It's like, dude, those browns, even if they got those brown spots like a lot of these do here, those are the ones I love. I love them with the brown spots, just like my bananas, because those brown spots are the anti-cancer.
Don't worry about the brown spot.
Yeah,
don't worry about the brown spot. To worry
the most
if there's a
toxic
leaf.
part of the plant.
Shut up, Lou. If you have a leaf growing out the top of your head, then start worrying, man.
Right, right. And even then, I mean, I
it's
think I'm doing
important to
something
eat
right.
the most toxic part of the plant. It's important. Always make sure you eat the most toxic part of the plant. Always.
Are you saying the skin is toxic? Are you saying eating apple skins and mango skins is toxic?
No, they're not. They're not toxic.
No, maybe not apple skins.
Well,
but
this
today
fucking
you're
wop
buying them
over
in the
here.
market.
This fucking
If
wop
you're
over
buying
here,
your
Lou.
apples in the market, then yes, the skin is
Listen,
toxic.
Of course.
Listen,
but
Lou.
that's
Do you eat the tomato leaves, Lou? Because it is
That's why I'm so
medicated.
gung ho.
Toxic.
That's why I'm so gung ho on eating the mango skins, is because I know that they're about as organic as you can get in this modern day fucking chemtrailed up, age that we're living in. So you know, I get that there's still some fallout that probably landed on them, but overall,
it's not only that. It's not only that, Pineal. All plants have some sort of poison in them.
I know about oxalates. I know about lectins.
Jake's like,
I know
Lou
about
ain't no wop.
phytates.
Nah, he's
I
a
know
fucking
about all
Italian from Toronto, bro. I know Lou. Lou is like a
But if we
classic.
really, guys,
But
hang on a minute.
saying, like, when you're saying eat the
Can I
most
just
toxic
say
part
something?
of the plant, do you eat the tomato leaves, Lou?
Yeah, well, actually, I was just going to touch on that, Cage, because if you've got, like, if you're growing your own tomatoes and you know what a tomato plant smells like when it's all lovely and ripe, and and you take it, you cut the like a stem off which has got several tomatoes on it. When you do a good sauce, and I cook like this, you leave the leaves in because the flavor, you don't eat them, but you leave them in, and it imparts this amazing flavor and aroma into the food. And I know that Lou knows what I'm talking about.
What, you're
Over
talking
to
about
you.
leaving the leaves of the tomato?
Well, when I
plant?
cook, so
the leaves of the plant? Is that what you're saying?
right, so you've got like a stem that's got like, say, 5 tomatoes on it, right, from a vine. You cut it off. It's nice and fresh. You've put your garlic and your onion and your peppers in, and you put that whole thing in, and whatever meat you're going to cook with it, or if you're not, mushrooms, whatever, if you're not going to do meat. When you cook that, and then that sauce breaks down and all that, you take the stem out and the leaves out, but you leave the fruit in, so the tomato in. But the flavor that is imparted, trust me, I was taught this by Italians and Spanish as well.
I've never heard of that. I've never done it myself.
Well, I was taught that when I was like 4, and that was in 1971. There you go.
I do know.
No,
that
1970 actually. Sorry.
I do know that tomatoes in particular, like eggplants, they're what's called nightshades, and they have certain poisons in them that for some people can be extremely toxic. For some, they can handle it better, but for certain people, especially people that have any sort of celiac problems, it can be very toxic to them.
And removing the seeds and the skin is probably the smartest thing to do, and cooking them down as much as you can to eliminate a lot of those plant toxins is probably the best thing for health. Maybe may not be the best thing for taste, but it definitely is the best thing for health, because
I've never had to do that. I've never had to do that.
Yeah,
it doesn't do me any harm. I don't eat the leaf, but if there's a little bit of leaf left in the sauce, it's never done me any harm. So the simpler your food is, and the simpler it's grown. So if it's not gone through like massive processors. So if you're growing your own tomatoes, they're the best you can get. You know, if that, you know what's going in the soil, it's like you know what's going into your meal when you cook it. So if you know how it's being grown,
He's probably one of these. He probably goes to the fucking tomato farms in Ontario, picks his own shit and makes his own sauce and shit, or grows them himself. All the Italians do that over here.
Yeah, we grow our own tomatoes.
The two best countries where I've had the best tomatoes from.
Make your own shit either way. Homemade sauce is the best, man. You know.
No, Italy and Holland are the two best places I've had tomatoes from. Italy and Holland, right? And the reason why I say Holland, maybe not now because they've destroyed most of their farming, but I used to buy these big vine tomatoes, and they were lovely. And I'd cut them open, and they were sprouting inside. So I'd take a spoon and I'd take some of the seeds out, put them in water, rinse through the seeds, leave them, and then I'd just plant them, and I'd have tomato plants free. They just came with a plant. But because now they're making
anything you grow yourself, doesn't matter what it is, tomatoes, whatever. If you grow them yourself and you eat them when they're ripe, right off the plant, it has amazing flavor. Like when I don't even buy tomatoes from the store like in the winter, because they have no flavor. There's nothing.
I agree. No, I don't bother.
What's the point of eating that if it's literally tastes like nothing? It's
right,
you know. But you pick a tomato out of the garden.
But I made this point, Lou, the other day, and that is in the summer you eat fruit, and tomatoes are fruit. So anything like that, you eat the ones that are growing in the summer, and in the winter you eat the roots. And anything that you've bottled, you know, fermented or made compote or whatever, passata, you know, and you've dried your meats, you know, you've dried your mushrooms, you've stored your potatoes and your apples. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you don't look for fruit in the winter unless you know where sometimes you get like strawberries that grow under the snow. That's you know, plants do amazing things in the woods, you know, because you've got that canopy above the ground. I mean, granted, we're being sprayed like bugs, so all that aluminium seeps down into the soil, and then the woods aren't like they used to be. You know, I mean, when I was a child in Germany, I know, no, I'm 956 years old. No, I'm not. But we used to go and pick wild
you were born at what? You were born at what? 66 or something?
67.
67?
Yeah.
I think you're due for a new broom, and when's your birthday? I'll get you a new broom.
That's funny. I like that. But when you go into the woods and you pick things like that are wild and they're tiny, like the strawberries.
I don't believe you.
Oh no, you believe me, I did. It was in the Black Forest. We went there many years.
It's the Black Forest. See,
you stooped me on the edge.
You damn witch.
Yeah. I'm not freaking. I'm a white. Okay, if I'm a witch, then I'm a white witch because I work with what heals, not what.
Ooh, witchy woman.
No, we're gonna get you a new broom for your birthday.
Hey, are you being racist against black witches?
That's racist.
Yes,
That's
I
sexist.
am. I'm being racist. Stop it,
How many
guys.
songs? Witchy woman, black magic woman.
Yeah, Santana. I like Santana. Santana did a good.
Up on it.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah.
Still haven't seen him live though.
Oh, I did. I saw Santana live. I saw them live in Odeon Hammersmith in London, and it was everyone was up and dancing. The guards were like, "Yeah, whatever." It was really chilled and peaceful. There was no violence. It was just dancing to Santana and the band. It was brilliant.
Yeah, my parents
88.
go to Santana concerts growing up. I'd be like mad they never took me, and yeah,
Oh
still mad.
man.
She's a straight-looking woman.
That echo effect. Something else. Where are the bombs at? You have any bombs? Here, I'll drop a bomb really quick. 4 + 4 is 44. All right, drop me a bomb.
Boom!
Boom!
By the way, it was 4:44, and now I'm looking. It's 4 hours and 44 minutes into the stream.
34, 36, and counting.
No,
4:44.
We have. Oh, hang on. 4.
Yeah.
All the 4s. Oh, it skipped.
All 4s across the board. But
It
yeah,
was.
man. What else you got? You got bombs. What else you got? Do you have any?
We are in the fourth dimension.
Can we get the iguana man?
Nanu.
Reptilian.
Iguana
Reptilian.
The reptilian
man.
Pioneer, what's your plan for tomorrow?
It sounds like a character.
What's your plan? How much money are you gonna make tomorrow? So you
tomorrow,
can get your car on the
money. Right now, I'm more focused on scheduling this appointment. I'm trying to find the right doc. But other than that, I mean, I got this. My neighbor wants. Well, I'm hoping he wants me to clean his sidewalk because he's actually I used to work with him too. I used to work with this guy, and now he's one of my main mango plugs. Actually, not only from the mangoes he gives me, but the ones that because he's got a big ass tree that hangs over, and he's actually the husband of Don't Judge Me. If you know Don't Judge Me, she's a mod on Talcott's channel, and so I've infiltrated these streets, as some would say.
Go Pioneer.
Yeah, my neighbor,
Mango Man.
I turned my neighbor on to and here's the thing. Let me just say, they're only one of many trees that I source mangoes from, because but they have the best ones. The thing is, they just so happen to have, in my opinion, the best ones, which is great because they're basically the only one who's actively giving me them, and I'm not taking them. But you could say I'm taking them, or you could say I'm just, I'm getting them before the animals will get them, because in most cases, they're trees that hang over the street, out of their property, onto the sidewalk, and often into the street, where they're all over the place on the ground. I'm not going to say I'd never grab them from the tree, but if I do, it's because I touch it and it falls in my hand. There's no really reason to pick them off the trees. And I give credit to Wizard, because Wizard is actually the one who kind of recently made, and it's funny, he's on panel right now, Synchronicity, but he basically, it wasn't even so much what he said, but it got me into my own thought, kind of going off on my own thoughts, where I realized, why take from the tree of knowledge, or the tree, like why take from the tree when you can take from the tree of life? It's right there, just pick it up, kind of a thing.
Many trees of life, though, Pioneer. Many trees of life. And so I wanted to do a tiny little segue, because I've got a really old gooseberry bush at the back of the house. So I might not have mangoes, but I've got a gooseberry bush, and I have a lot of brambles which I need to cut down, sadly.
Oh, so I'm gonna brambleberry?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you put in the
last year? No, it's really sad. Last year, because my folks died, I couldn't pick them, but there was like shitloads on the bushes. So I'm gonna have to cut some of it back, but it's just that I looked at, and I thought that gooseberry bush is gonna die, and I went out there the other day, and there's like shitloads of gooseberries on it. It's like,
gooseberry,
check it out, check it out, gooseberries around. Pardon?
Brambleberries kind of like, they look like blackberries, kind of, right?
Well, you call them blackberries, but they're brambles.
They're raspberries, aren't they? Raspberries?
No, they're not raspberries. Completely different.
Okay, and then gooseberries. Here,
Raspberries.
I'm gonna look it up because I know there's another name.
Yeah,
for
they're
gooseberries.
green and they have little hairs on them.
I think we might call them
They're
golden berries.
green.
Hold on.
And they're stripy. They're kind of striped
Mango
from
Man.
Mango Man.
Yeah, I love
They've
all berries,
striped.
man. I love all,
Yeah,
Malbec,
me
all the
too. I
berries.
love berries.
In the States, it's
Cherries
more
and
obviously
berries and
common. You just
apricots and
the most common are
peaches.
obviously
Oh my god. Oh,
blueberries, blackberries,
I loved
and
scrumpying when I was a kid. We used to go like loads of families, like several adults, and then there'd be loads of kids, and we'd just walk through the countryside with baskets and push bikes and stuff, and we'd collect mushrooms and fruit and crab apples, and then we'd all come back home, all sorts of berries. We'd come, it's all wild, and leaves as well, different leaves and flowers to cook with. Come back home, and then they... Sorry?
Here, I'm just gonna look at what happens when you look up gooseberry. I mean, you got a pretty nice here. OTW, I'll share my screen here. This is
Can we
interesting.
put up a picture? Yeah, cool.
They're
really nice, actually. They're lovely when they're ripe.
Interesting line of intimate swimwear.
What? I don't know what that is.
Gooseberry pictures here. Fascinating.
Hey, we took a turn for the better here. What's going on?
Well, these are gooseberries.
Right. Okay. Hang on. Right. Don't go too fast. Wait a second.
Go back down again. Go back down.
Right.
You're in the bad spot.
Go back to the top.
Go back.
The top.
Right.
Right. They're very simple. Right, on your left. Whoa.
Okay, there.
Under the core fresh. Go down.
You zoom
Go
in
down.
on the center, right there. Zoom in. Let's see those.
Gooseberry intimates. Gooseberry intimates.
No.
Gooseberry.
See, I told you.
Wow. Dirty boy.
Apparently,
Dirty boy.
Okay, that's
It's a swimsuit. Well, I could wear that actually.
Well,
I do have the. I have the
They're
chest.
all men. You got to watch out.
I definitely have the chest.
Whoa.
Minot puts the gooseberries and the brambles into the cauldron. Who knows what happens after that, Then you get this man.
You're never going to see this. You'll never see my gooseberries.
Hey, you got to be careful with some of these models. They have a Kinder Surprise.
Yeah, between the legs.
I'm wondering.
Is that a tranny?
The jaw.
Man, you never know. It's 2023, You never know nowadays.
Yeah, well, I don't have one of those. I'm a pure woman.
A lot of these girls have a Kinder Surprise.
Kinder Surprise. Oh no! Stop it. Oh yeah.
Back to gooseberries, right?
You know what that reminded me of? That freaking there on the left, that one. It says, "What are gooseberries?" There. That's what they look like. The 3 gooseberries on the left. On the left, yeah, right at the top. That one, yeah. That's what they look
like. You need a
like.
gooseberry woman soundbite for that one.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever had gooseberries in like an edible form, but I've definitely had it in like in supplementation form, probably because I've always been one for
they're
like
really good.
Powders and all that kind of stuff. Like green vibrance is great.
Oh, and see those ones. Hang on, these orange things that Kajura Fresh. So they grow here as well, by the way. The Kajura Fresh. No, go back, please. No, don't take things like that. No, do it naturally. Don't do it in.
Yeah, no, ideally.
It's in plastic. Right, Kajura Fresh golden berries. They grow here, by the way. They grow in Scotland. So these are Cape gooseberries. That's not a gooseberry. It's a different plant. So there's a miss. It's a Kajura. Is not a gooseberry, but they grow here as well because we use them in our food, and they grow in the garden because we do get some quite astonishing weather in the summer here, and you can grow. If you've got a sheltered area in Scotland on the east coast, even though we get mostly crappy weather, you get like these little tropical pockets. So you can grow all sorts of stuff here. If you're wise.
Are you by Inverness?
No, I'm on the east coast. I'm in the East Nuke, and my cat is climbing on things. Hang on a minute.
I know some people in Scotland.
Sorry, what did you say your pussy was doing?
Climbing on things. He's a male called Tobin. He's a stripy. He looks like a Scottish wildcat. And he's a little monkey because he literally bites into everything. He's chewed trainers, flip-flops. He bites into my facial wipes, anything. He's just got teeth. He's like a dog. He's not a cat. He's a dog in a cat's body. It's bizarre.
So he's not a pussy. He's a cat.
He's a Tom. He's got knackers.
Okay.
Oh, cool. My SNL stream hit. See, that's pretty cool. So my SNL stream hit 100, and I got like not even half that many, or about half that many subs, I think. And I just made the channel like a month ago. So that's pretty cool.
Good for you.
So for anyone asking, how do you get views? Well, do a 4 or 5 hour stream, and then with a good thumbnail that you took from another creator that said you could use his thumbnails one time. So,
but I mean, I think ultimately is do you want to have a following, and if you want to, no, you've got something to offer. You know, I've got what I've got to offer when I come here in these live streams. I don't want to go and do this live stuff on my channel. That's why I come into these. But for you, it's really good. And you're the generation that needs to carry this torch forward, because us lot ain't going to be here soon. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, you could think like that, but it's all dependent on whether or not this generation, the future ones, carry the torch. Which, I mean,
yeah, but you are one of those. That was my point. Is right, that you are one.
And I'm looking down on even the younger generation, like I have a younger sister. She's just over 20, 21 or something, and I'm thinking the same thing. And then I see how the certain agendas, like the one with all the letters, that sounds like Chat GPT or LG BLT. Like I want a large BLT sandwich. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
the BLT sandwich.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculously.
Yeah. No, that I like that. I think we need to rename LGBT, what they call it, to the BLT.
Well, because when you ask a large BLT, right, and when you ask for a large BLT on the order on the receipt, it looks like LG BLT.
What a load of nonsense! Just nonsense.
GPT, which I wonder how.
Oh, and then there's Midjourney as well. So hang on a minute, because I'm an artist, and I don't mean a piss artist. Well, sometimes maybe, but I do woodwork, clay work. I sew. I make food, and I mean my own recipes. And when I say I sew, I can make clothes. So I studied dressmaking and fashion design, interior design, woodwork. My father was a carpenter. So, and this is what you need to teach your kids, this shit. Everything. Learn how to use your tools, like your hands first, and what you can make with them, whether it's metal or wood or clay or whatever, cloth, and to create cloth. And it's that fundamental thing. And so I'm going to go back to Steiner here, because he is the most modern teacher.
Oh, no. But now it's getting into Rudolf. You're talking about Rudolf Steiner?
Yeah, because he brought forward ancient teachings into the modern world. And so the modern world didn't just happen yesterday or in 1995 or whatever, or 1960. The modern world happened quite a few centuries ago, right? And what he did was he brought back, and I can't bring all this forward here and talk about it. You have to go and educate yourselves. That is the whole point. If you don't do the journey, you will never find the destination. The destination is to free yourself. And that is not just your physical. That is when you leave here. You must be free when you leave. And I'm not, this is not depressing. You need to know your mortality in the physical sense. That is not mortality in the conscious sense, in the mind, in the spirit. So you need to learn this, and I need to learn this. We all need to learn this. It's not like, ooh, look at me, I'm so great. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we all, on our own individual paths, whatever that may be, whether we're Mango Man, Owl Man, Cage, OTW, whomever we are, Wizard, doesn't matter. We all have our own path.
Manel,
And we
have you looked
come
into,
to join. Sorry, go on.
I was going to ask, have you looked into Blavatsky? It sounds like you have. If you're mentioning
Well, a
Steiner.
little bit. Yeah, I did. I did. But then I was very, and I still do, I'm much into Michael Tsarian. And
Michael Tsarian. I played him. I played Tsarian on my thing.
Yeah, I like Tsarian, and I'm a Mark Passio. My heart is with the one great work. So, I've been listening and interacting.
So what are your beliefs in? What are you practicing? What do you lean more towards?
My belief? Well, that it's not a belief. I don't have a belief.
Well, I'm saying, so you know what it is. So, but I'm saying, like, what's your goal?
Well, to just, I've always just been who I am. There's no like great book there to read from. It's just I've been who I am, and I tell my story as I interact with others. And just say, look, this is what happened, and that's how I dealt with it, and I'm dealing with my own stuff now. It's just I'm just taking each step as I go. I'm kind of in a weird place, and I think you already know my folks died last year, so I'm still dealing with that stuff at the moment. But nonetheless, in the meanwhile, while I'm dealing with that stuff, and it's affected my health a little bit through the stress. So I try and
like from what I get from you, like I think you're influenced a lot by theosophy, kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
You mentioned like alchemy and hermetic kind of thoughts,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that we all need to get to know ourselves. When we get to know ourselves, then we can comprehend a lot more. And it's difficult to get to know yourselves because we've all had some sort of indoctrination somewhere along the line, and been fooled. Even though at some point when we were really small, we had this cognition, this gnosis that was, you could feel it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because I know I had that.
You tell me is trying to get onto the panel, OTW.
Yeah, come on up. So Cage, what? I think we're kind of on the same. We're kind of parallel here.
Nobody's been backstage.
Oh,
he's
I
not
can't
there
see.
Yet. He's saying look at the comment.
Oh, he wants to come up, but the link will be up there. It's always up there. OGW always. Yeah, here we go.
There you go. He's in. Hey, you know what? This is a little bit off topic, but Lou, I was gonna ask you. Did you hear? Since you are from, Woodbridge, that condo on Jane and Woodbridge. Did you hear about that old guy and he killed all these an old Italian guy and he killed all these fucking mob guys or something that owned the fucking condo, the people on the board. There's a bunch of old people. You never hear, but his complaints was he was right under his unit was this. It was the entire power for the entire building, and he was complaining, saying the electromagnetics was fucking with him and shit, and people were just ignoring him, and he went crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's some super old Italian guy.
I never heard.
Wow, that's interesting.
Never heard of it. When did this happen?
Not that long ago. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting though.
Less than a year.
So if you think about it, if they're
And
old,
what was the
they
reason
were
he was killing
around.
them? He was killing them because of what?
It was an old Italian guy. He killed all these. It was like mostly Italian buildings. It's in Woodbridge. You know, it's like this.
Yeah.
You know the ones by Jane.
Yeah. I know the place where you're talking about.
You know, in Maple, I guess it would be.
Yeah, it's Maple, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much what he was complaining because he was right under all these generators for the entire power of the building. This old man, right? And he was stuck there. He couldn't do anything. He was complaining for years about it. And he's saying that shit was affecting him, you know, this electromagnetic.
Right, I got that. Yeah, he wasn't killing anyone, it's killing him. Right,
no,
so
he went and killed him. He went and killed a bunch of these fucking people, got shot by the cops after.
Right.
Oh,
but
really?
what's happening?
Yeah.
And when did this happen?
I'll send you a link. Search it up, man.
That's scary, man. Whoa.
Yeah, but when? When did it happen?
It wasn't less than a year ago.
I don't know. I don't remember hearing about anything like that.
You hear about that?
So you're talking about directed energy weapons, kind of, or directed...
He's right under it. He's complaining about it for a long time.
So you're talking about these big pylons, the pylons?
He was like 80, 90 years old almost, you know?
Right, but was he living underneath pylons?
No.
You know what a pylon is?
Like, you know, in a big condo where they have like the electrical room, his condo unit is directly under it, and there was like you could hear it visibly. Like you can go on his Facebook. I looked into it after I heard about it. If you go on his Facebook,
so he's being affected by the electromagnetic frequency, the EMF.
Yeah, the noise, the vibration, all of it.
Right. So, but he's old. So, what was he in his 80s or something?
Yeah, and he was like fucking like suffering and shit for months. Like he was making videos like, trying to get a hold of these people.
Right. So he obviously
didn't. He couldn't sleep. He went crazy after, yeah.
Right. So he knows that that's not normal because when he was alive, when he was a younger man, he didn't live near any of this stuff. Wasn't around.
The guy.
And this is affecting all of us. Yeah, but it's affecting everyone.
It was hard to see what he was trying to say on there, but you can kind of get it.
I get it. I know what he's saying. It's affecting everyone, this, by the way. Because it's if you're living in cities, you're going to have more EMFs. You're going to have more EMFs, and it's going to affect you. So, oh, sorry, go on. Oh, Pedro.
I'm out, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Much love.
See you, Wizard.
All right, peace, Wizard.
Thank you, Wizard.
Man.
So who did he shoot? The owner of the building or the owners? What?
A bunch of the people on the board. Like he killed fucking
Oh, he went and shot the people on the board of directors. Wow.
Bro, he went and knocked on their fucking door and killed them.
Wow. Oh my God.
This old man, he went fucking
right, okay, so he did. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He went
how many people did he kill?
Bro, I have to look. I'm gonna search it up. I know it's like a bunch of
them. That's disturbing, isn't it?
Wow.
That is really disturbing. Oh yeah.
I think he got 5 of them. The cops shot him after that.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard that story. I don't remember ever hearing about it.
Nor I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, search
up
Vaughn mass shooting or something. You'll pop it.
I don't watch news or anything like that. I don't watch any kind of news, so pretty easy that I would miss something.
Yeah. Was it on the mainstream then, Paige?
Yeah, it was on the news, but they didn't blast it some of these things. I think it's because
no, it wouldn't have been here then.
That building's owned by certain people. You know, that's going to really put down the value of the building. You know, the reason why I heard about it is so they don't really want that public. But the reason why I heard about it is because I have a friend and their grandparents live in that building, so I knew about it right away. You know?
So it's one of those buildings with older people in it.
6 people were killed. It happened in 2022.
Shit.
73-year-old Francesco Villi, 73 years old.
Oh God.
He went Terminator. But if you look, I looked into it after my friend sent me the Facebook.
So you think do you think he was targeted?
He had posts for years complaining about this electromagnetic shit fucking with him.
Yeah,
They wouldn't do anything, and he felt like he was
So
stuck
he
there and
was
shit.
targeted. So he was sensitive to it, obviously, because some of us are more sensitive than others. You know?
No, he was directly under it too. Like you could visibly hear it.
Oh
Like
shit!
You could audibly hear it even. You know.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the old
Okay.
dude just went no. He's
That's
like fuck.
awful.
He's like saying they're all like ran by mafia and they're corrupt, and he just went crazy and just wanted to shock them. You know what I mean? Man just went door to door. 6
That's
feet.
really sad.
Never heard it. You never heard about that? The giant fucking condos,
Nope.
you know, right in Maple on Gene, you know, right there,
No.
Wonderland and shit.
Yeah,
well, I
that's
know. I've
pretty
heard
big.
some,
I'm
yeah, I've
surprised.
heard some of that.
I'm surprised I never heard about it. That sounds like a pretty big event. I mean,
I agree.
Surprised, especially because it's in the Italian
Quite
community
disturbing,
and
actually.
But I thought you knew about that for sure. But
yeah,
the
no,
only
I
reason
never.
why I brought it up is because of the electromagnetic thing, which I found really weird.
Cage, is there any chance you can put something up on your... I still can't find you. Do you know what I mean? It's like really difficult to find folk on YouTube because they literally shadow you lot. They shadow us all. So it's really difficult to find folk. If I know exactly what your YouTube name is, sometimes I'm lucky and I can find you. What?
Hey, okay, guys, I gotta get going. I gotta go feed the animals and make sure everybody's all put to bed.
Yeah, me too. In a couple of minutes and I'll be gone too. I've got animals outside.
Thanks, OTW.
Love you, Lou.
Peace.
See you later.
Much love, Lou.
Take it easy, man. Bless. So, Cage.
Manel, real quick. I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, go on, man. Yeah, go on.
All right, so like over here in the States, our media is pushing this alien agenda here the past couple days. Is your media doing the same, or do you even watch the media over there?
No, I don't look at mainstream at all.
I didn't
Not
think
at all.
you did.
But I do. I know by proxy I do. So there's certain. I do a lot of Odyssey, which is not YouTube safe stuff, if you know what I mean. So there are folks out there that are putting up stuff from the mainstream to kind of show the nonsense. Which, look, I know the nonsense. I'm well aware of it. You know, I've been observing this for a lot of years. But yeah, no, I stopped listening to the radio. I actually turned my DAB radio off. I think it was mid-March 2020. I never turned it back on again because all I was hearing was COVID this and COVID that and COVID the other and pull the leg on COVID and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, F this, I've had enough. I ain't listening to it anymore. You know, I just want to listen to some music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just curious if all the medias, throughout the other countries and territories were pushing the same agenda.
Oh yeah, no, they're totally pushing the same agenda. Totally. Absolutely.
All at the same time.
Literally in newspapers, it doesn't matter where you go. You know, and if you're gonna go, and I try and avoid government buildings, because they have these horrible signs up where there's this like kind of what I call a cartoon face with a mask on it, and I'm like, well, I never played the game from day one because I knew that there was a genocide going on. I got it like that. As soon as I saw it, I went, oh, here comes the genocide. You know, so never bought any of their BS. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be 100% honest. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but like all my spiritual enlightening, I don't know how you call it, the signs that you receive in life that something isn't right, they were all going off at the same time, and I'm like, what's going on? What the
It's
hell?
called your gut instinct. Your gut instinct.
Sure enough, like 2 weeks, after that, they did the lockdown, and I was just like kind of going through this phase of I was like, just something's not right, and sure enough, it got pretty crazy. It really did. And what was crazy is the watching people so easily led into a belief or a behavior like that at the drop
I
of
saw that too.
boom.
I saw that too, but I didn't do it. See, what I did was I carried on working. And I was housekeeping, so I had private clients.
Me too.
And well, no, I was actually cleaning my local hall as well. So hang on a minute. So here's the thing. So it was my local village hall that I was cleaning, and it was also there wasn't an actual doctor there, but he used to come and do surgery there. And they actually gave me the, what was it called? That money. Don't work, we'll still pay ya. Blah blah blah. I did that.
Oh yeah.
You know, I didn't have a choice at the time.
What, severance? Severance or something?
Not severance. It was
No,
like
it was all linked to the CV nonsense. It was linked to the
bullshit.
Yes, it was a stimulus thing. Yeah, exactly. So then they asked me to go in and clean, and I hadn't been in there, and I was like, oh my god, this really needs cleaning. So I went and I was going in like over several days. Do you know what they did to me? They sacked me. They sacked me for going and doing my job. They sacked me for doing my job. And they called me up. They were really rude. They were really rude. How dare you go into the building? I said, I was doing it was filthy. There was all cobwebs everywhere. It needed cleaning so the folk can come in and do their shit. You know, it's it's a community building.
Everybody's health and well-being because you went and cleaned a facility.
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking idiots, man. That's what I'm talking about.
They sacked me for doing my job for the community. There was no one around when I went and cleaned. Listen, I was cleaning like 4 or 5 in the morning. There was no bugger around.
Right.
They're complete arseholes. F them. I'm trying not to swear here. I worked for them for years. No. I wasn't there 5 minutes. I worked for them for like years. Okay? So it wasn't like a 5-minute thingy. You know? I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for freaking decades.
And they just cut you loose like you were shit on
their
shoe.
They just fucking sacked me. Yeah, I got a text. Your employment is terminated as of now.
You know, I lost my contract. I was going around. I serviced like 59 Starbucks stores, and I lost my contract with them when the fucking pandemic hit. They said, "Well, we're closing our stores."
I'm going to give you something ironic now.
Like, we won't be using your services anymore indefinitely.
Right.
So
I know that.
And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I mean,
yeah, because they just take the piss.
Contracts.
They take the piss because they're indoctrinated nutters. Now, so hang on a minute here. So the company that I was cleaning my local hall for, I was cleaning an auto garage for the same company. And I continued to clean for them right up until I think it was like 2 days before I left to come to Scotland, down in Northamptonshire. Same company that gave me the work for the local hall. I was still working them for another company. So what's that then? They didn't tell me to go away.
Manel, how did you get to Scotland? Did you fly on how'd you get to Scotland? You flew on a fucking umbrella?
No, I drove my car. No, I drove my old Vauxhall. My old Vauxhall. My old Vauxhall. My 1800 Vauxhall. I drove her up and she was having engine issues, and my mate drove a van, a Luton box van, down from Scotland to me in Northamptonshire. We loaded what we could in both the vehicles. My animals went in the car. He took all the stuff, and then we drove 400 miles, and it took like freaking 10 hours because I was having engine problems. So yeah,
No,
4 animals in the car with me. Loads of fun.
You're a trooper, Manel.
Yay!
I said you're a trooper.
I know. Thank you. No, I am actually. I don't know how I'm still here. Shouldn't really be. I should be dead by now. You can?
I know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't kill me that easily.
Freedom's
They've tried
right now.
many times. Say again?
Dick's jamming right now. I just got a
Oh man,
notification.
I love when he jams. It's great. I will go and listen to him later on.
Yeah,
Even if I miss the live, I'll still go and listen.
Yeah,
I've actually created a playlist. Right. So, OTW, I've created a playlist where any live things that you guys do, that is to do with, and Pineal as well. If you're going to do any kind of music, and even if we can, at some point, I'd love to collaborate somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a playlist I've made that I want to put any kind of jamming, anything creative into that's music.
Who summoned the harmonica?
I love a harmonica. My mum used to play it. Well,
I can only seem to play like Civil War shit.
Sounds like a funeral thing or something.
Yeah,
well,
that's
everyone
what I'm
at
saying,
once.
that's why I like to play along with other artists because I'm more susceptible to writing when I'm playing along with someone else. It's like the feedback. You get on a vibe and you're writing a piece, and it's like I don't know. Jamming alone is fun and it's practice and you're learning, but it's nothing compares to jamming with another musician. It for me it really sets it off.
I agree. May I just say, OTW's gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A bomb could go off and he wouldn't hear
I've been here a while.
Was it good?
OTW's always watching. He's silently observing in the background.
OTW is one hell of a musician. He's a very established in his guitar playing and all that. He's really good.
You know it's weird for some reason. I got
Pineal though. Sorry, go on.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Paige, go on. No, go.
I got recommended that guy. Remember Jay Phillips, Lucid? If you guys remember him.
Jay Phillips.
And yeah, he's the guy who like lost half his fucking brain. He like shot himself in the head accidentally or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
but he's like alive. He's like a miracle, pretty much. Like he's like fucking.
But he's wow.
But
so hang
yeah,
on.
like I somehow.
Paige,
but hold on. This is
can
my
I
point of
ask?
bringing it up.
Did he shoot the left side of his head off or the right?
I think it was the left. To be honest with you, it's kind of weird. But
regardless,
what happened?
That's why he's still creative.
Yeah. So
go on, please. Sorry.
I got the channel recommended to you the other day, and then I seen an Everlast cover from him. He's playing the guitar, singing. He's good at singing. Man. What the fuck happened there? You should get him on the vocals.
Right.
OTW.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
So Pineal though as well has got a great voice. So can you just tell me his name again? This guy that you said.
Get him and Pineal on it. Pineal.
What was his name though? I've forgotten. Cage. What was his name?
I think his YouTube name is Jay Phillips or something. You never seen him before?
Jay.
Lost half his.
No.
Dude, I go. I
Jay
find
Phillips.
homeless musicians and shit
All right.
fit in with them.
Jay Phillips.
Yeah, something like that.
I've
Yeah.
heard that.
Jay Phillips. I'll have
You
a
guys
look.
haven't seen him? Bro, he came on wearing a helmet, like half his head's fucking gone, bro. I don't even know.
Oh shit. Is it a PH Phillips or a
PH,
F
No,
Phillips?
just J.
Yeah.
PH.
Is it?
Right. I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
yeah, J.
Right.
Yeah, Phillips.
Yeah, it's not Jeffrey
got it.
Phillips.
no, I got that.
Are you Jeffrey?
But that's his YouTube name. But usually it comes on as Lucid. You don't remember Lucid? He's like,
Lucid.
yeah.
Ah,
I think
okay.
you've seen him before for sure.
Right, let's put that down and all.
He kind of
Lucid.
disappeared after fucking. He said he was, like, sleeping or
I do
something.
remember. Yep,
He was, like,
I
sleeping
saw
or
him. I
something.
remember that.
He was like sleeping with his wife or something, and like he was like half dreaming, and he was sleeping with a gun under his pillow, and they accidentally fucking blew his head off.
Well, I mean, if you only got half a brain, that's kind of trippy, man.
Probably
Good God.
rewired. I don't know. He seems completely fine though. Yeah, like
Right.
it's
Wow.
very weird. Like, it didn't even like really affect him
Yeah.
that much because he seemed.
That's blown my mind.
I talked to him once.
Yeah, but the concept, Cage, the concept of only having like half of your head, that is just wow. That blows my mind.
Yeah. Pun intended.
That's fucked. But yeah, either way, you could. That make like who knows what that's gonna do to reality? You know, it's like.
Interesting. So,
Sometimes
does
shit
anyone
like that
read here?
happens. Yeah.
Sorry, say again.
Paper?
Yeah,
Read
Cage,
paper
say
or
again.
read articles online?
Cage, say that again. What you just said, I missed that.
Are you saying read like paper books or content online?
No, paper books. So, has anyone now? Granted, it's not factual reading. However, it has a lot to do with what's going on right now. Has anyone read any Michael Moorcock? Forgive the pun, since
No,
it's
man.
like I'm a lady amongst gents here. Right. Okay. So, he did a series of books that are kind of they're called the Eternal Champion series, and one of the books you do really. I mean, it'll take you some time. They're all paperbacks from like I think the 60s and through the 60s, possibly into the 70s and beyond. So they're the Eternal Champion series, and it's about this consciousness that gets ripped from one life to another to fight for, whomever calls him, basically. But one of the end books, and there's really no end because it's when you read all the books, you find that you end up at the beginning again. So it's like cyclical. But one of the books, which is where we are now, is called The Final Program. And it literally is about taking us into that transgender thing. It's I read it years ago.
Whoa.
When, like in the 80s, it's like quite disturbing.
That sounds very disturbing. I'm sitting there going,
Yeah, it was. Trust me, because I'd read like loads of books, and it was like I was completely in all the battles, and we're talking like field battles, like on the back of horses, and like you've got swords and axes, and and really, when you're reading, you're in there, you're in this battlefield, and you're with the heroes or whatever, you can feel it. It's fascinating. I mean, I've done a lot of reading, not so much recently because I do a lot of reading online and then I speak to folk. But yeah, and I think
I'll be honest. I'm really baffled at this point why our society has become, and especially the American society has become so infiltrated with this transgender concept to where we're now putting it above our nationality and putting it above, like it represents more than being American. You know, it's kind of disturbing. The message I'm
Yeah, but
getting.
it's not
I
just
mean,
there
not
though.
everybody's probably getting
It's
the
just
same.
exactly the same here. It's exactly the same here, and we're on a
Really?
smaller patch of that. Yes, trust me, there is. And now I have, and she's more of an acquaintance than a friend. I don't know if I should call her she because she looks like a bloke. She doesn't have a dick, and she's never harmed me. She's always been a very gentle girl, but she's gotten. I mean, I've been away from here for like 9 years, so I've only been back for just under a year now. And she's gotten married, and here's the disturbing part: her wife, which is disturbing in itself, is pregnant. And I met her in the co-op the other day, and she said, "Oh, it's my birthday, and the best birthday present is my wife is pregnant." And I'm like, "How'd she get pregnant?" "Oh, in vitro." I was like, "Okay." But I'm really polite, so I didn't want to insult her. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm really happy for you," and all that shit. And I went away, and I went, "Oh my God!" So here's another imbalanced so-called family that is going to bring a child up with 2 women. That's not right. It's not right. Am I right or am I wrong? Correct me, please.
You know,
Not right.
I'm in agreement because I feel like, that child's kind of being misled. That
But obviously,
they're being shown that this is an acceptable way to procreate and bring our society forward.
No, it's
We're
not.
just ixnay
It's
men
not acceptable.
altogether. Or
So
the
she
vice
didn't
versa.
actually go. So hang on a minute. So there's a thing that happens when a man and a woman have sex. Whether they want to create another being or not is not the point here. But when a man and a woman come together, there are chemicals that happen that don't happen between a man or a woman and a woman. That's the whole point.
Been that way for a long time.
Wait, what about? Hold on, Manel. I have a very critical question here. What about Tommy and a transvestite? Is that the same thing or no?
How is this so prevalent that it takes priority over our national respect and correspondence of citizenship? Now you've got to fucking love a tranny or you ain't American? I mean, what the fuck is going on?
Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, but I'm
bro?
in
That's
Scotland.
Bro,
I'm not in America or England. Sorry, Cage, go on.
That
Sorry.
shit. That's just a part of the brainwashing, social engineering shit. That is a mental illness.
Exactly.
It's a mental
I
illness.
understand, but you
But
understand my point. That this shit's being shoved at people and they are being brainwashed.
Not at me. I don't see any of this shit except when you go online and you hear about it. I don't see any of this in my reality at all.
Yes. Well, no, there's not many, and this is the point. Hang on,
I can
Cage, though.
understand what
This
you're
is the
saying.
point. Right, but the point is that the percentage of these types of human beings that want to do
of the
this.
population.
Exactly, they're so small. Like I said, I only know one here, right? One woman that's going with another woman, and they've gotten this in vitro stuff, and now they're going to have a baby, apparently.
A baby.
So, but a baby, yeah. But the point is that the percentage is minuscule to when you look at the percentage of any population in any country, and there's still countries where anyone wants to go and do this transgender shit. They go, well, you can fuck right off, mate, because we ain't doing that. And you'll find that quite a lot of the black countries, the African countries, they're going fuck off.
I heard
Hungary,
it's illegal there, or Hungary, and I guess it's the same way you say it. Either way.
OTW's in a fucking meditative state doing magic right now with fucking red walls and shit.
Yeah, man. He's doing the cat. He's doing the cat meditation.
Look, like the cat's tweaking out in the back. Look,
no!
I know, blessed. He's got a stripy cat there. Bless, that's a cutie. Yeah, I've got one behind me. Tobin is sitting behind me, my stripy cat.
Let's go see if my cat's
and he's looking at me going, "Where's my food? Feed
Look,
me."
she's there. Look, here's my cat. She sleeps in this chair. Look.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's all silvery.
She's
gorgeous. The big cat. That's a big cat.
She actually she's not. She's very, very tiny. You can pick her up and it's like you're not even picking. You're picking up an empty pack of cigarettes.
Trust me, my cat's littler than yours. I have a smaller cat than yours.
Well, the mother of her was really small, but she got hit by a car.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. My wife was so upset. My daughter was. And it was horrible.
Well, because they're family, aren't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. But that's her spot in the chair. She just chills there.
Yeah. Well, my cat, he just he's not a cat. He's a dog in disguise because he just chews everything, and he's now taken over my bed. He's right on my bed.
My dog inside who thinks he's a cat.
He's a little monkey. Go on, show me your dog.
No, I'm not gonna go find him because right now he's probably snuggling a
That's
kitten.
spliff. That is a freaking huge spliff. If that is a spliff.
No, it's a cigarro.
A cigarro. That's a serious one. Darn, man, that's a big bugger.
A big bugger.
A big bugger. I got a nice dude here, by the way.
So how was your weather today, Manel?
Absolutely stunning. Well, it actually started off a bit shitty, and I thought it ain't gonna get any better, and then it was like really hot. It said 19 on the car, 19.5, but it felt like about sort of 21. But then I don't like it too hot.
What is
I like
that
sort
Fahrenheit?
Centigrade.
Yeah. Why the hell is all my shit open on the side of my house? What the fuck?
It's your house, man. I didn't can.
It's like the cable. The fucking cover fell off the cable box.
It's OTW. It's OTW meditating or sleeping over here.
I think he's actually fallen asleep. No, he's gone to sleep.
What tattoo is on?
Patrick.
He has like a number 5 or something on his fucking wrist. Look at that tattoo. The fuck
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
I see that.
Is that
man?
Or
is it an S or a 5? Is it an S or is it a number 8?
You better not be rubbing one on.
Interesting.
It's the mark of the beast. You see, he's been exposed.
Do you think he'll wake up if we call him all at once?
I can wake him up.
I'm kidding.
I can enter his
he's definitely gone to sleep. He's sleeping. He's asleep. Guten Abend, guten Nacht. I'm kidding.
Go to sleep.
He's definitely asleep.
The cat paused and looked up at the ceiling. What the fuck?
Oh, what, when I was whistling?
Yeah.
Pussycat. He the puss. He might have headphones on there. Oh, that cat heard me. Hello, puss. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's all silvery. Oh, look at the eyes.
She's a silly cat. Yeah, she doesn't like litter boxes. We had one. She refused to use it. She goes outside.
Good girl.
Yeah. So I don't have a litter box. She just goes outside.
Well, yeah. I mean, the old cat here that kind of came with the house. I mean, I knew him when he first came years ago. He's now going out and he's loving it. So I went to the shop earlier on, and I drove up, parked up, and I see him walking towards me on the pavement, and I'm like, "Go in the house." So he went up to the front. He listens to me. He's like a dog as well. He went up to the front door, and I got out of the car, unlocked the door. He went in the house because the back door's open, and he's got like a jungle out there, you know. I'm like, what the hell? You're on the road, man. Yeah, but he was always an outdoor cat, and then my parents, because they were old and they freaked out, and someone I think kicked him, and they wouldn't let him out for like years. Poor sod. He was like, "I want to go outside. Why won't you let me go in the garden?" Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? So he's quite happy, and you know he's still out now, even though it's getting dark. He's out. My girls are out. It's warm. I go with as much light as I can.
OTW, you're back, bro. The cat woke
Yay,
you up.
he's woken up. Good morning.
Do you remember what you dreamed, bro? I entered your dream, OTW.
Yeah, he came in, dude. He did some stuff.
I shot you in the fucking head. I didn't wake up.
How long can you sustain this?
OTW's tripping out. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, where am I right now? He's like, he doesn't know what to say.
Dude, what if he starts sleepwalking?
You might be asleep. This is a dream.
Yeah, maybe.
This is an illusion. It's all an illusion. That cat was fucking.
Hi, Brazil.
Himself and shit. The cat was giving himself a bath for 20 minutes. He was asleep.
Do you feel like you're falling down the tunnel?
Just go with it, man.
Shit, he's almost got it.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've got Mars attacks. You know what I'm saying?
He looks confused and shit. Sorry, I should have
OTW.
I'm sorry, I love a little bit of dark humor. That's my dirty secret. Not too dark, just a little bit, you know.
A little tiny bit.
A little bit of shadow.
Well, you gotta be able to laugh at it, right?
Exactly. I agree. Hey,
I feel bad for OTW.
while we're being genocided, you gotta have humor.
That's how you kill it. That's its weakness.
I need a chat GBT poem that I can recite.
I would like to see how capable AI is of replicating comedy and humor.
That's a good question.
Because there's a snappiness that comes with a comedic personality that is able, you know, like a Robin Williams who just can rattle it off and
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or George Carlin.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's a few more. There's quite a lot of them.
Plenty.
Come on. Bill Hicks, obviously.
Fucking
OTW. Get a poem going.
He's done. He has to shut it down.
Give me a poem.
You should be sleeping right now, shutting it down. I might go live. I might put the fucking panel link in there if anyone wants to join.
Why don't you get a poem going, Paige? I'll come and read a poem on your thing.
No, I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna start a panel because I know OTW needs to get some fucking sleep. You know.
Yeah, man. He's on here too long, isn't he? Bless.
Gonna start a panel. Are you gonna leave a link in the chat?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna post it up before I leave off it.
I'm gonna need to go and get my girls in before I come back in. I've got to give them some food and stuff. So, are you gonna do a live then, Cage?
Oh, maybe he's still alive right now.
Is he?
He knows the
Which?
engineers.
Hey.
Yeah, he played music.
OTW, we at Wagwan.
Wagwan, OTW.
Wagwan. What are you doing, sir? I can hear little ones. Who's got little ones?
Stream is ending.
Good night, OTW. Bless you, man. Right now, you tell me. Hey, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm
bless
setting
you.
it up right now. Give me a minute.
I'm trying to figure out how to hit the link.
Nice.
me down.